Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Art Keller Field, here on the campus of Carthage College, for this evening's match between the Thunder of Wheaton College and your Carthage College Redmen. This regulation match is scheduled for two 45-minute halves with the possibility of two sudden victory overtime periods. The NCAA promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. The NCAA, the CCIW, and Carthage College thank you for your cooperation. At this time, we would like to introduce the visiting Thunder. Number 2, Steven Fernandez. Number 3, Adam Blackman. Number 4, Reed Bartley. Number 7, Noah Anthony. Number 8, Elliot Borge. Number 11, Jordan Goltz. Number 12, Stephen Goltz. Number 17, John Clark. Number 19, Ben Backey. Number 25, Marshall Hollingsworth. And number 31, Matt Paprocki. The Thunder are coached by Mike Giuliano. And now for your Carthage College Redmen. Number 0, Giovanni Mata. Number 3, Arnaldo Reyes. Number 4, Philip Dominski. Number 9, Otley Einerson. Number 11, Taylor Pinataro. Number 12, Ivan Chavez. Number 17, Ryan Crane. Number 18, Shane Riley. Number 20, Jamie Townsend. Number 22, Johnny Rimkus. And number 23, Michael Dombrowski. The Redmen are coached by Steve Domin and assisted by Jordan Innes.
Hello and welcome to Art Keller Field on the campus of Carthage College here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is Tim Burke and Mike Domin broadcasting live the Carthage College Wheaton Thunder tilt with number 1 and number 4 in the conference. Mike, how do you size things up?
Well, first, let me just say, good to see you, Tim. It's been a couple years since we've been up in the booth together, and but I got to tell you, Wheaton College, and why don't we say hello to the Wheaton College fans that are out there as well, watching from home. Obviously, this is a Carthage broadcast, and we're going to be a little bit biased, but we won't forget about you guys too. But obviously, it's going to be a tough game for Carthage. And it's going to be tough for Wheaton, too. I've been able to watch Carthage here for the last couple years. And they got a strong midline, Tim. They got a real strong midline, and the defense is solid. We just got to find somebody that can poke the ball in the net and get us up early.
Yeah, Mike, as I look at it, you look at the records here, we got 12-2, and Carthage comes in at 7-6, but, a couple unfortunate things early in the season. So really we're looking at 9-4 against a 12-2 team here. Both teams really geared up, had great seasons last year. Both made the conference tourney. I believe they played in the conference tourney and played a really tough battle there that went down to the wire. I think Wheaton coming out on top. But, as I look at it here, Carthage looks rather big and physical. A lot more speed in the lineup this year. If they can put the ball in the back of the net, there's a good chance to come out on top against the first place team in the conference and number 5 in the country.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore, Tim. We got a brisk night out here today, Tim. It's 53 degrees on the temperature dial, and we've got, by my count, we probably got about 75 to 100 people sitting out there.
Wow. A little bit of a misplay in the back here, Mike, almost resulted in a scoring chance for Wheaton. forward, pushes it just wide of the net. A little dangerous, as you can see, with the slick field because of the rain all week. That ball is really lively right now, so something we definitely need to be cautious about on the back line.
Well, yeah, that's number 4 is Reed Bartley. He's one of their back line guys, so he's definitely the gentleman that we'd rather have shooting over some of their top guys like number 12, Stephen Goals.
Wow, Mike, that's incredible that you've already picked that up in this contest. So we're looking here. The ball has been played at midfield for most of this match so far early on. A little long ball here. Wynn keeping that ball in play. Carthage going down the right side. Centering. And looks like a corner kick. Looks like Carthage awarded a corner kick
it's
on
a corner.
It looks like a change of call here to a goal kick.
Interesting. I think, Timmy, I saw the linesman schedule a corner there. Must have changed it for the lead guy in the middle.
Looks like the referee did come and make that change. So interesting. Goal kick, Wheaton. First real attack from Carthage here, playing on the right wing. Along the outside. The ball was played in a little softly, not really into the middle. Stayed near post. Look at that ball just skip there, Mike. You see what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. This turf, albeit it's flat, and you're going to get a lot of good surface, it's going to skip because it rained all day up here. And so now that field drains well, but it's still going to be a little slick.
Well, Wheaton really playing a deep back 4. Playing sort of a side-to-side stopper sweeper, not a real depth to their defense. Maybe a chance for Carthage to strike a through ball to Dombrowski, who's got 9 goals on the year.
Good ball.
Oh,
that's a handball.
Looks like a handball, but advantage Carthage right now. If he can play Dombrowski. A bent ball sent in. Wheaton picks it off at the 18, though. Carthage wins it back. Pignataro outside. Back to Pignataro up the middle. Little fancy 1-2 combo. Ball back outside, out of danger. Carthage retains possession. So what we're seeing is a lot of ball work. First shot, not necessarily on goal. A little weak off the left foot of Dombrowski, but like to see Carthage able to put the ball on net from out there and make the goalie make a reaction save here.
Tim, that shot was from number 23, Mike Dombrowski, and what I think is interesting to see is Mike is starting today. He traditionally comes off the bench for a little bit of firepower, about 15 minutes in. So it's good to see Mike out, shooting often and getting at that net early.
Yeah, Mike has been a real goal-scoring threat his whole career. Does come in off the bench a lot, which is, not real common for a big goal scorer in a soccer match. But hopefully he can keep his wind and play this whole 90 minutes here, because we could really use him with some scoring punch. Carthage really had the bulk of the ball possession here. Wheaton looks like they're just sort of trying to feel Carthage out, trying to really man-mark Dombrowski. First time he's checked to the ball instead of asking for it through. Some slick play in the middle here. Carthage retaining possession, checking to the ball. Real nice formation Coach Steve Domin's got here. It looks like a nice wheel play, trying to rotate a guy in the middle to always be checking to the ball, and then guys running off of that checker.
Tim, what do you think? The wind's coming north to south on us right now, with Wheaton having the advantage, which I think a lot of the play has been in this front third right here, which is interesting with the wind coming from the north to the south.
It is, Mike. Early on in that game, we saw that ball hang up on the right side there. Really let Carthage actually run onto that ball. I think if the wind's not in play or not a factor, we don't get that opportunity earlier in the game. Oh, looks like a giveaway from Wheaton. Carthage outside. A big win from Wheaton at midfield. Playing the ball. Their first sort of real attack as they possess the ball on the outside right flank. Ball played wide, a little one-on-one. Now one-on-two as Carthage doubles the outside man. Ball played across, won easily by Carthage. Played outside, out of danger. Oh, a little bit of a giveaway here. Making things difficult on our keeper. Keeper comes up with a nice sliding save. Let's see how this ball affects the punt. Playing a little bit of a drop punt. Hit it at least to the 40-yard line. That ball rolled to the 30, so looks like the wind's not a huge factor, I'd say, in this game. If you can keep the ball low, shouldn't have that big of a factor on Carthage's ability to get forward, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. I think what they're going to want to do is they're going to try to work the ball up through number 11, Pignataro, and get it over to Chavez on 12. Now Carthage is making a run down here on the
22
outside.
with a great move. Looked like he played it a little out far away from himself.
Nice.
Centered the ball on a tight ball from the end line, served back across, throw in Carthage. Carthage with a couple big opportunities here. Wheaton playing that flat back. Not a lot of depth is letting Carthage get in behind him, which is a real concern if I was the Wheaton Thunder.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know if you can hear it at home, but that home crowd really enjoyed that play.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know what the nickname is for the Carthage fan base, but they are out here and they're rabid. That ball played wide across on a head ball. Chance for someone on the back post to get a foot on that and score a goal, but unfortunately, no one on the back post to take advantage of that. That slip header really had a chance, though.
No call there.
Yeah, foul on Carthage at the 45. A little bit of a trip, professional foul, if you will, Mike.
Okay.
Ball played across. Ref didn't like where the spot was. He's going to reissue the kick.
Tim, some important matchups already happened this evening at 5 o'clock. North Central College lost 1-0 to Elmhurst, Illinois.
Did they?
College. It looked like a fairly even match. Shots for North Central College are 14 to Elmhurst's 12.
Mike, now that is a big contest here in the CCIW with North Central nipping Carthage in a game where I think Carthage was certainly in favor of the play, but sometimes the result doesn't go your way. With Elmhurst winning this, I think that puts them at 500 for the year with a tie, and North Central moving to a 1-2 record. So, on the campaign, that does a lot of things, keeps a lot of things bunched up in the middle here at the in the CCIW standings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as you look at it, Wheaton and North Park sort of the class of the conference this year, and it's been that way for the last number of years with Carthage, in and out of that top 3 spot here and there, season to season. Always with sort of that one loss that you sort of shake your head at. Carthage could use a little more consistency in the play, and I think if they get a little more of a goal-scoring punch, they can perennially be at the top of this conference.
Absolutely. It looks like the refs are trying to take control of the game early. Traditionally, these games are not ultra aggressive. It's well played, but it's typically a clean match. And I think that's why the ref's going to want to stay on top of it early.
So a dead ball from the 30. Carthage played in. Interesting ball selection. Everyone lined up on the far post. No one really makes a darting run to the near post, yet the ball was played near, really giving us no opportunity or no chance to score in a situation where that's a very dangerous ball and a very dangerous set piece could have happened. Wheaton really trying to play a lot of one-on-one on the flank, got a lot of speed out there on the far right. Carthage, though, matched speed for speed. Not sure who this call is on. Looks like they're going to award Wheaton a free kick. Interesting, as it looked like he got inside position and got bodied off the ball.
Yeah, I question that call.
Very interesting. It looks like they're going to call the foul about 20 yards back further, though, not where the actual foul was committed. So maybe they saw some earlier in that run down the line where they felt like they needed to blow the whistle. When you're at the top of the conference, you tend to get a few more of those calls. You earn them as well during the course of the season. So we'll see. Wheaton plays a very similar ball to Carthage had from about the same spot. A tethered ball played in very, very fast, looking for a redirect, and they didn't get it. Carthage wins it fairly easily, and they're already out attacking across midfield with the throw-in near the 40. Mike, what I really like about this game between Carthage and Wheaton is every year it seems to matter. And those are the games you want to play in if you're a college student on both sides. These games that go 6-0, 7-0, aren't really, those are stat builders. Those aren't necessarily games.
Here's an opportunity for Carthage with a cross, and Dombrowski just couldn't get to it. It's going to go out of bounds and be a Wheaton throw-in.
Yeah, Mike, nice call jumping in there. So as I was saying, the games where you really have sort of a battle that comes down to the 1 or 2 goals or that sudden death goal near the end of the game, or where every play feels like it could swing the momentum. Those are the games that are really fun and enjoyable, especially if you're on the right end of them.
Well,
Carthage with the winning ball at midfield, Nice job leaking through.
Debo to dive.
Oh, man, we just missed a slip pass, but we retain ball. Outside wide, we have a man. And a shot.
Oh!
Only to be foiled by the keeper on a diving play to his left. Carthage, Arnaldo Reyes, was that?
Yep, the outside midfielder, a senior this year. Would have been nice to see him tech that one in.
Hit a very solid ball from about 30 yards out. Put it on net to the goalie's left. The goalie made a tremendous diving save. That ball looked like it hung up just enough to allow the goalie to make that play.
Looks like Reyes
Carthage. Ball played long and across, looking for a header. Ball stays in. Wheaton back to recover. As you look, Carthage sweeper looking to get back on this ball. Might let it run out of bounds or might have to play it. Looks like we're going to let it go out for a throw-in. It's sort of a dangerous spot deep in our own, within our own, 18-yard area of the field.
This is how most goals are scored. They're just snuck in on a weak throw-in, and you want to be careful of that, especially at the 33-minute that we're at right now. It's you don't want to get complacent.
I'll tell you what, Arnaldo Reyes is playing a really fine game in the middle. He's winning balls. He's stepping in. He's controlling. He's really picking the pace of the game for both teams right now. Pignataro backing him up there in the sort of defensive midfield, winning a lot of balls and serving them right up to Reyes, letting him just sort of pick his way through the defense, find his forwards and outside wingers.
Yep.
So a little lull in the action here as Carthage picks up a dead ball, I think on an offsides call at the 35, their own 35. See what they do here. Looks like they're going to play it long and not just go with a possession game. Slip header to the middle. Wheaton wins it easily. But Carthage back in with the chance. Save foiled by Wheaton at the 18.
Reyes again in a dangerous position.
Yeah, Reyes has really stuck his head in there, and he's gotten us forward. Carthage has definitely dominated the pace of play and the ball possession here so far. Wheaton looks like they're really trying to measure what Carthage is going to do, and maybe they're looking to sort of turn the tables on what Carthage typically has done over the years to Wheaton, where they try to break a long ball or they try to slip someone through, whereas Wheaton was always more of that possession team. But right now it's Carthage looking like the old late '90s Wheaton teams, if you will. Reyes with the ball outside.
Actually, that's Chavez.
Oh, was that Chavez? Yep. I'm sorry. Looking at my numbers here. Yeah, number 12 is Ivan Chavez. He's the one that's really sort of owned the middle of the field. Not afraid to stick in there and make a play.
Here's where I'd like to get him settled in. Just calm down a minute. Get our players set, and I want to make sure we get somebody on the back corner, because that seems to be where it sneaks out quite often. Yeah,
I mean, last time on the same play we had a slip header. Not so fortunate this time, but
nice.
Another header win. Played
Reyes! Yeah!
Woo!
Carthage takes a 1-0 lead at the 31-minute mark. What a shot that was,
I
Tim.
will tell you what, Mike, that's almost like a scissors kick from about 20 yards out, played tightly into the back post. It was the ball was not thrown in that well, but it was headed back over to a wide open Carthage player. I believe that was, did we catch a number on that? So our outside winger with just a very hard hit one-timer that found its way to the back post.
What a goal by Reyes. Great goal. That's going to be, he's second for the season, Tim, but it's going to be one of his biggest ones, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, that's one you'll remember for a long time, Mike. Any game against Wheaton, who's number 1 in the conference in a lot of seasons, is number 5 in the country as rated by the NCAA, and I think number 9 by the D3.
Nice stick by Pignataro.
Very, very nice stick. Another ball win, and Carthage trying to break forward. Wheaton looks like they've come out a little hotter here after that goal, giving up that goal. Looks like they're going to try to press forward a little more, which might flatten their back and allow another run through, if you will, Mike.
Tim, one thing that I've noticed about Carthage is they get up, they don't sit on that 1-0 lead. They're not going to change to a defensive game plan, and it doesn't look like they've done that at this point.
No, it's pretty early after that goal, but I would agree. I think one of the greatest things you can do for a defense is have the ball. Ball possession is better than having a really great defense. because you don't have to play D as long or as tough. So if Carthage can maintain that ball possession, be a huge advantage for their back line here.
Well, a nice position for Carthage, a 1-0 lead at the 33-minute mark against number 5 in the country, Wheaton College.
Yeah, very interesting, Mike, is, they've come out, and I think the energy Carthage has showed, they had Wheaton on their heels, whether that was, by design, Wheaton trying to just sort of feel things out, or if Carthage is really just sort of taking it to them and Wheaton hasn't reacted well to it. But as I look here, they're playing that flat back. They haven't done a great job possessing the ball in the back line. Wheaton doesn't seem to have that, that defensive player that can really win the ball and then really possess it, Typically, that's always been a calling card for a good Wheaton team.
Chavez with a nice cross out to number 18, Shane Riley, a junior from Libertyville.
Yeah, Shane Riley's had some chances here on the outside. Like to see him maybe make a little more of a break forward. His reaction steps are a little slow here right now. Coming on after that goal, we don't want to give up anything cheap. As you look back on the history of this game, Mike, and when these two teams have played, you can probably look at almost every game where Carthage has made a sort of a critical error in the back 40 that's led to a goal that maybe wasn't all that deserved, That's one thing I think we need to protect against. So not sit on the lead, but also play really smart and fundamental. Don't be afraid to play that ball up the line versus just trying to be too cute in the back. So.
Well, that's true, Tim. That has been our calling card, and I know that Steve is aware of it. And Steve Domin, the coach for Carthage College, and he's obviously going to be planning for that at halftime here.
Oh, wow, some really fancy footwork out there by number 12, Ivan Chavez, who's dancing on the ball. Looks a little like Neymar out there on the wing. And that's, Mike, where you really want to take advantage of one-on-one situations. You don't want to be doing that stuff in the middle of the field where you get it stolen and the other team goes on a counterattack. But outside and one-on-one situations is really where you want your best athletes
to
take guys one-on-one and try to create something for the rest of the team.
Big
throw-in, slip header.
Oh, two guys open. He just could not get his foot on the ball.
Here's where I'd like to see Carthage keep that ball in bounds and not have to risk a throw-in. Mike, as you look, remembering back to some of the late 90s when we played, a couple of teams really sat back behind the ball on defense. Looks like Wheaton's sort of taking that tact right now.
You're right. I'm counting 4 guys flat on the back here, and number 19 for Wheaton, Ben Bake.
But even as the ball gets played upfield and Carthage went back to take that throw in, all the Wheaton players were behind the midline, and then you could see they sort of tried to lull Carthage in, and then they all made a hard pressing run up the field to try to maybe win a cheap ball from a misplay.
This is a nice touch up from Chavez up to Dombrowski. If he can get there, he's still got possession. And they're going to call for a foul.
A very interesting call by the ref. I am not sure I agree with that call. Looked like both players bodied up. If anything, the Wheaton player had his hands out and extended.
I don't agree, but here's a nice cross over to
Dombrowski.
Dombrowski, a header.
Okay.
And Wheaton's going to take possession back deep in their line.
So Wheaton's got some size on their back line that sort of helped out there in a situation where it looked like Dombrowski had an opportunity. Ball played out wide on the wing to Wheaton. And here's a crossing ball won by our sweeper and played up the field. See, that's what I like there. Not getting too cute, getting that ball upfield, and letting your forwards do a little bit of the work. I'd like to get that ball on Chavez's foot in a little bit of space, letting him attack with a 3v3 or a 3v2 situation coming down the middle.
Absolutely.
Ball played wide, sent across by Wheaton on a very hard targeted ball with a lot of pace. Just couldn't get on the end of that is Wheaton up front. But a real dangerous opportunity. Really the first of the game for Wheaton. Throwing Carthage, like what they're doing here. They're staying down the line, not getting too cute, trying to win balls. Chavez with the ball again, not afraid to play it forward. But we don't want to tire Dombrowski out because he's used to coming out the bench. Mike, I think you alluded to that earlier in the game. Go ahead and tell me what you were thinking in that situation.
It's a good point. I think Dombrowski is used to come off the bench. He's coming into a game fresh, but he's coming into a hot game, and that's sometimes for some players that's difficult to do. For Michael, it's not. So this will be a nice change of pace for him to come out at the beginning. He's gotten a shot on net. I'd like to see him get a goal here.
This is the interesting thing. I think Natara won that ball at the 50, and we're all the way back on our own 35. And those are the situations that can get you in trouble. Not saying necessarily you had another ball to play, but you can't be afraid to play that ball outside and let someone else win it. Going back against Wheaton is exactly what they want you to do. So ball played forward. Wheaton again likes to seem to attack down the right side. It must be the real strength of their team on the right side. They seem like they have a lot of speed down the right flank.
Yeah, they're going to look to get the ball to number 12, Stephen Goals. He's their leading scorer. He's tied with Dombrowski, I believe, for the conference lead at 9 goals apiece. So those two are aware of it. I can tell you that much. They're going to want to sneak a goal in and take that crown to all of themselves.
Now, I believe Stephen has a brother on the team, too. They're both out of River Forest. I believe I saw them, and I looked at a couple games with Coach Domin when we were on the recruiting trail. And really solid player, very good height, good speed. Not afraid to put the ball in the back of the net when he's on the top of that 18. Wins a lot of balls in the air. Just a very sound player. Dombrowski attacks things a little differently. He uses his speed. He's a little more slithery and slick coming down the middle. Not afraid to take a guy 1v1 and take that shot from the top.
Speaking of Dombrowski, he's going to take the ball and put it outside to Rimkus. Johnny Rimkus come from Kenosha. He's a Kenosha area freshman this year, so I'm sure he's got some family out in the crowd today.
Oh, you can hear him right now, Mike. Yeah, Rimkus is a real solid player as a freshman. Has done everything I think Coach Doman's asked, and even more. Foul on Wheaton down the side. Looked like they were man-mugging the outside left defender for Carthage. Number 4, Philip Dominski, who really got good body position on the right winger.
Hey, Tim, let me remind you, there's another important game going on right now in the CCIW men's soccer. It's Illinois Wesleyan versus North Park, who I believe North Park is ranked nationally. Is that true?
Yeah, I believe they're in the top 15. I don't remember exactly which poll, but they're in both the D3 and the NCAA poll. Really solid season. North Park's really put together a good team.
I'm sorry, Tim. Yeah, Steve Schuler behind me just told me they're number 18 in the NSCAA rankings, and I believe he said they jumped up to, went down to number 20 in the D3 soccer rankings. So, but good to see some really highly competitive teams, and they're always usually coming out of the CCIW.
Look at Chavez, almost with a win, but number 25 for Wheaton, Marshall Hollingsworth, just beats him to the ball, or there could have been a dangerous situation there. Again, attacking down the right wing and trying to beg for a foul, looking like a little bit of simulation there from the Wheaton player. Could have been booked for that. Wheaton still with possession in the right, takes the ball back out. And at their own 30 here. Looks like they're going to do an early service.
Oh, nice service.
And ball sort of caroms wide. Goalie comes up with it. So
that was Goals with the header. Stephen Goals.
Was that Goals again?
That was,
so yeah, that's where Goals' strength really lies. I believe he's 6'4". Can really get that ball in the middle and sort of lay it off or put that head ball directly on net. The referee is called a pretty fair match here. Everything's been played pretty clean. Not that many fouls in the game, which is not uncommon. Typically, both of these teams seem to have a lot more fouls in the second half, where you get a little bit more tired in the game. Wheaton coming down the left flank. And the goalie comes out with a spectacular play. Comes out of nowhere to make that diving play to snare the ball away from Wheaton.
Looks like Carthage may have got away with one there. Looks like number 9. It appeared from my angle that he might have had his arm wrapped on him, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I think the ref, Mike, is letting him play. There was an early play here where it looked like the foul could have been called on Wheaton, and then a foul could have been called on Carthage. But as long as he lets the play go for both teams, I think that's a solid job of officiating.
Tim, to update you on that Illinois Wesleyan North Park game, it's 0-0 with the 33rd minute ticking. So we've only gone through about 10 minutes on that game, and it's been a pretty low shot, 0-0 on shots.
Oh, Carthage Pignataro in the middle with a chance, just couldn't get on the end of that ball. Wheaton coming out, they want to counterattack.
We got a
big
guy deep.
opportunity
They've got
outside.
4 guys. It's 4-on-2, and a nice intercept by
a nice intercept, but
Carthage.
very dangerous. That ball slips through, and it was a
That was Jamie
3-on-1. It was a 3-on-1, Mike, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You lose that ball in the middle of the field, those counterattacks happen within split seconds. Doesn't take long for Wheaton to get back up the field, and their flankers love to get on the end of balls. Wheaton still in possession. Nice little poke check away by Carthage. Wheaton still in possession of the ball on the right side. They've done a lot of early crossing here. They're playing a lot of little 1-2 combinations. Maybe getting a little too cute with the ball instead of getting it up to goals who can take advantage of that 6'4" frame. Looks like a foul here, but he's going to play advantage. I don't really see a big advantage here on a Carthage end, as they've got their whole team back, and Carthage is attacking on a 2v team situation. So,
well, I got to tell you, Tim, we're at the 18:55 mark, and neither team has made a substitution, and I don't see a lot of players warming up on either side.
Yeah, Mike, not surprised. This is too big a contest to maybe not have your starters go the whole game, or at least a bulk of the minutes. Most of the time, your starters are starters for a reason. So,
and they're gonna play heavy minutes today.
I think you're gonna see heavy minutes, if you will, Mike. And look, if you look out here, 12 is wide open for a potential 1v1 situation, and that's Chavez, who is dancing on the ball on the outside left. I think we play a safe ball here off to the right, rather than put a paced ball through the middle, but we'll see what Carthage elects to do here.
Yeah, keep your eye on Chavez. He's coming from Cicero, played at Morton East. They play some real gritty soccer down there.
Oh, and Carthage gets on the end of a head ball, just over into the side of the goal. But a nice winning head ball, I think, by Pignataro, coming down the middle on a very well-placed ball about the penalty dot. And we have a goal kick for the Wheaton Thunder.
Well, Tim, the shot total is Wheaton with 1, Carthage with 3. And Wheaton has 1 on goal, and Carthage has 2. So it's a fairly low-scoring game, high possession, and I think that's what we assumed would happen.
Yeah, we did. I'm really struck by Wheaton's inability to play that ball to a checking man in the middle of the field, which has sort of been, again, a staple of what they've done under Coach Bean and Coach Giuliano over the years. So really haven't had a chance to get the ball to a checking player, and we'll see if they do something a little bit different come second half. But right now they're just sort of reluctant to play balls through to a targeted player.
One thing I remember, Tim, many of these games, each one of them, Wheaton is a classy team. They play fair, they play hard, but it's always a grudge match.
Yeah, I mean, these games are usually low foul. I don't remember seeing a red card in any of these matches. They're played with, I think you used the word before, a lot of grit, a lot of tenacity, but also played really fairly, and it's really about the soccer and not about taking the body. Oh, a giveaway by Wheaton that we just couldn't possess. 22, Johnny Rimkus had a chance to get in sort of a 2v2 situation with his running mate Dombrowski, just unable to find the ears on that one. Ball played up the sideline. Looks like a ball for Carthage throwing at about the 30-yard line, Mike. Again, this ball is, I'm surprised to see only, 4 shots on goal total. A little surprising because you've seen some play in the attacking third for both teams. Just not a lot of solid chances. Defenders sort of staying strong, playing a deep flat line, not allowing a lot of shots on their goalkeepers. All right, good. Carthage is playing the ball up the line. Smart play though to get that ball up the line. Pignataro with a win there, and then Ivan Chavez also. Oh, what a foul called.
I don't know. That seemed like a clean play.
I'd love to see a replay on that, Mike, but we're not set up here in the booth for that right now. So maybe at halftime we'll look at the tape. I'd really like to see that because that could have started a big 3v1 situation for Carthage coming right down the middle.
Absolutely, Tim.
You know, as long as he's calling it the same both ways.
This is where you want to be careful. Wheaton on the corners, that's where they like to be.
Carthage with a nice play. I think that's going to be rewarded a goal kick to Carthage. The Wheaton player looks like he did get a high elbow or a shoulder up into Chavez's face or chin area. But Chavez, tough kid. Out of Morton East, I believe.
Yeah, Morton East.
Morton East, a tough kid. He'll get right back up and he'll start to make plays coming down the middle again.
Tim, I think we're going to start to see the players up front, 11 and 12 for Wheaton. They're going to start to check to the midfielders so that they can obtain the ball and get it to the outside, and they love to cross it through the middle that way.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, two of Wheaton Maine's players to get that ball on the flank and serve balls that come off the end line back towards the 6 or the penalty stripe to get on rushing players. They're not afraid to dummy the ball or leave it behind. The other big play, which we haven't seen a lot of today, is a targeted player checking to the ball in and around that tacking position in the middle of the field, and then he lays that ball off for runners coming through. And that is one thing. Maybe Coach Giuliano's got a different strategy than they've had in years past.
You know, one thing I'd like Carthage to look out for, Tim, number 8 on the outside for Wheaton. He's been fairly open, and I don't know if they're giving him that space, but Wheaton's having a tough time getting it out to him, and if that trend stays, then that's fine. But they may find themselves with a couple of 1v2s there. Yeah,
you know, Mike, that's a great point. Elliot Borge, I think, is his name. He's got 6 points on the year, 2 goals, 2 assists, and it looks like he's a player they like to feed the ball and help create things for the offense. You know, I'd like to see some of these stats for Wheaton because I know they've traditionally gone with sort of that 2-assist hockey style to see how many goals versus how many assists are actually on the board. So that's a more common thing you see today than you did back in soccer in the States when we were playing. Wow, it looks like there's going to be a dangerous dead ball set piece situation for Wheaton College in and around the Carthage. You know, at about the football 20-yard line, which would be about 30 yards from goal.
Interesting.
Wheaton plays a fast ball, a quick kick, and Carthage was right there to deflect.
I think they might want that one back. I think Wheaton would like to have that one back.
You know what, Mike? You bring up a good point. I don't know what real gain. It didn't look like there was any real advantage in the middle of the field, like any Carthage players taking a little bit of a nap back there. So why they tried to play that quick ball? It wasn't a shot. It looked like it was going to be a cross anyway.
I agree. I agree. Carthage's goalie was set. He was on his line. I'm not sure what advantage they got, and I think they lost a little bit there.
Yeah, and Mata's a big kid, so, I mean, his lateral quickness, he's going to be able to cover a lot of those balls up and sort of at his waist situation. I'm guessing Wheaton, when they shoot, they're going to want to try to go low on him to try to, you know, maybe get him off his line. Looked like a big shove in the back, and I think the ref finally made that call.
Carthage is going to want to slow it down, I think, here, right? We're at the 12-minute mark, so we're almost through the first period. And I think they're going to be happy if the result stays this way getting into halftime.
You know, I've seen Coach Domin, and he's doing his traditional sort of pacing, and then he'll just sort of, you know, find a seat. He tries to keep pretty quiet, but, you know, he'll have a lot to say at halftime because I think there's been a lot more opportunities for Carthage and only be up 1-0 where Wheaton probably hasn't played their best soccer. Might be a situation where putting one in the last 12 could be real critical to the outcome of this match and if it's to be in Carthage's favor. Ball one, Reyes outside. Again, doing some of his Neymar-style dribbling. Trying to work through. Chavez. Ball played out to the wing. Oh, looked like a winnable ball. Carthage, oh, great. Ball played across. Carthage wins that ball. Over to try to hit number 16, Marquis. Unable to do so. Ball rolls back to Mata in the net. So we'll see what Mata does here if he takes a little pace out of the game here. Looks like he's going to. Wheaton puts a little pressure on him to keep the action going. Mata, left footer. Hits a big ball just across midfield. Carthage on the end of it. Riley able to get on the end. Over. Over to Nicholas Vogel, who's just into the game. Looks like Vogel has an opportunity out here, one-on-one wide. Plays a slotted ball, just not able to connect with his teammate, number 17, Ryan Crane. Just out of his possession, or he would have had a crack at the top of the 18.
You know what I'd like to have seen him done that in the corner, Tim, is to take it to the corner. He was already in deep, and he could hold possession there and hope for some kind of corner kick.
Wow, great win by Carthage here. Out on the back right flank in a 1v1 situation where Wheaton does a lot of its work. I think that was that number 9, Atlee Einerson?
It was, Tim.
Yeah, this is a great win out there.
Oh, this is an errant pass.
An errant pass. Here comes Carthage on the counterattack. Slowed down a little bit. Probably should have played that ball to number 12, Chavez. Unable to do so. Wheaton with the winning ball. Wheaton wins the ball, sends it way wide to the left side. Attacking around the 30-yard line. Plays a slided ball through.
This could be dangerous if the goalie doesn't get there.
Mata with another big play. Saving his defense from having to make another play going to goal. Okay.
Rimkus.
Is that Rimkus? Yeah, Johnny Rimkus plays the ball through, and a shot. Oh, just able.
Maybe premature. Might have been a premature shot. He had 2 guys coming up on the 18. I think we could have had a nicer attempt there.
Yeah, it was a difficult situation. Both guys that were running upfield, it was a 2-on-4 situation. Both of them doubled up and not really given a lot of space to create. Here comes a crossing ball. Number 4 for Wheaton plays it. Reed Bartley plays it out of danger.
Tim, I got to tell you, I don't know if they practice this or if it's luck, but a lot of the 50-50 balls have gone Carthage's way.
Yeah, Mike, I think they've been a step quicker today. Maybe the travel up here for Wheaton, that 100-mile trip up, could have caused them to have a little tired legs, and playing so late in the day with the girls' game before this one.
Absolutely. As you know, both you and I live near Wheaton. We had that same trip up, and I know that I'm tired.
Yeah, Mike, as you say, both of us from Naperville have seen plenty of Wheaton games, played in these matches, as well as watched a lot of these games. And, this is much like all the other ones. Interesting call. It looked like that was...
Was it an offsides call?
It was an offsides. I'm not sure. If he doesn't play the ball, I guess they would have kept the flag down. It was hard to tell from my angle if he was offsides or not, but, sort of a lackadaisical situation there. Ball played all the way back to Mata. Mata will take some air out of the ball. Relax the team with about 8:40 to play here in the first half, Mike.
Hey, Tim, just to give you an update on the Illinois Wesleyan North Park game, they're at the 21-minute mark, and it looks like Illinois Wesleyan has a 2-1 shot advantage, but it's still 0-0.
Later in this game, we should go. We should check with Steve Schuler, who's a former official, on some of the calls that we've seen in today's game and how they're being handled here by the NC2A.
Ooh, that's a rocket from not only Wheaton's number 1 scorer, number 12, Stephen Goals. That is a nice shot.
That was hit very hard, Mike, from about 22 out. The same place about where Carthage scored. Mata was all over it, collected the ball. Fortunately, it wasn't shot too deep into the corner. And Mata able to make a rather routine save on a very hard shot. Ball sort of played up and down the field, little bit of a ping-pong game going on right now.
Things are picking up. I think this is what we were looking for today.
Wheaton looks like they're hungry to even this match up here in the final 8 minutes. They're keeping that ball out wide. They really like to work those sidelines right now. I haven't seen them come up the middle much at all today. Back when, in a traditional Wheaton team, they've always been really strong up the middle, and that ball possession's always been, one of their assets. So defensively, they've always been able to, it seems, to play sort of a 3-man back. But as you can see here, they're really keeping a deep 3 with 2 other players really close to that sweeper, if that's what they're considering, if that's a sweeper.
Yeah, I think you're right, Tim. I think they are doing a deep 3 with a sweeper, and it looks like Carthage is building an attack here, and they've got the outside. And Wheaton intercepts it. Wheaton intercepts it.
Could have been a dangerous attack for Carthage. They had the numbers, and now Wheaton, had they progressed the ball down the field a little quicker, could have the numbers and the advantage. Nice play by Carthage's sweeper. I think that was Dyminski that made a nice tackle on the ball there. Keep that ball out of danger. Ball played out wide. Looks like Carthage is going to try to play that off.
Get too cute. Don't get cute down in the corners here.
Would have liked to see that ball played a bit earlier and set wide down the field. This is still a very dangerous throwing situation. Mike, as you can tell, these fields that are played on a lot of the football fields are typically as wide as some of your traditional soccer-only playing surfaces. And so these throw-ins can really get to that center of that net.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, Tim, looks like Wheaton had their first sub of the game, I believe.
Who came in, Mike?
You know,
catch a number there.
I couldn't catch the number, but I believe it was their first.
We've got a lot of shoulders up. Both players had hands up. Could have been a foul on either one. Again, the ref letting them play, which should let the kids know. You know, they're don't go down with simulation. He's going to let you play. You got
nice intercept by Pignataro and a nice. He got behind.
On the end of it.
And
I thought he was on the other side of midfield. Was I wrong?
I think it's a fair call. I think it was a fair call. He was offsides. I hate to say it, but he was offsides. Steve Schuler, what do you think? Steve's nodding his head yes. So I think we're right on that 45-yard line. We've got a great vantage point at it, and I think they made the right call.
A lot like Fox goes in their football broadcast. They go to Mike Pereira for some of those calls. We go to Steve Schuler here, who's an expert official. I think 20 years as an official, doing many NCAA games, as well as a couple MLS tilts, I believe.
Yep. And he actually is from Kenosha here. Went to St. Joe's, and I got to tell you, he scored quite a few goals in his career. I want to say he may be one of the top leading goal scorers at St. Joe's, so we're happy to have him here.
All right. Wheaton playing a ball. I think they already played a dead ball, and now the referees are awarding another dead ball. Ball played up. Headed out of danger by Carthage. Coming back up is number 14. That is Austin Bitta. And Wheaton wins the ball back. Looks like an offsides position, though.
Tim Bitta has been a great addition for Carthage. He's a freshman, so he's a true freshman. No, I'm sorry, he's a sophomore, actually. Yeah. Yep, he's a sophomore from Libertyville, and he's already got himself number 3 on the stat sheet for Carthage, so I'm sure Wheaton's going to be looking for him.
Yeah, you know, he splits a lot of time with letting Dombrowski take a little bit of a breather. So when Dombrowski, one of the two is starting, the other one, you know, they really don't lose a lot. Dombrowski, a little older, understands the game and rate and pace of play a little bit better. Is a little more craftier up front, given the nature of his experience.
Oh, that's a nice ball. Is that Pignataro's got it at?
Carthage is in.
And Wheaton stops it.
Wow.
It just happened to be right at him.
It was a brilliant ball, but it was definitely taken from a tough angle. Looked like the wind sort of held that ball up, maybe to the advantage of Carthage. Another winning ball from number 16, who just had that shot on net, Alexander Marquis. Had he had one more step, I think he gets a better shot off to the far post. But that being said, Wheaton makes a good play, staying true to their near post, and their goalkeeper Matt Pryor, I believe, makes a heck of a save.
Looks like Carthage is putting it up. They need a little bit of a breather. I think there's been a little bit more movement on their side of the field, but they're holding well.
Yeah, you know, Wheaton is starting to get a little bit more of the possession, but not a lot of dangerous possession in and around our attacking midfield. The attacking third of the field. Carthage really winning a lot of balls and playing them up to a targeted player and getting their midfielders up very quickly. Typically something Carthage has always had trouble with is winning the ball, getting it upfield, and then getting their midfielders upfield to support their forward, so it's not a 2-on-8 situation or a 2-on-5 type of situation. Dangerous play out wide. Wheaton unable to get on the end of it.
That's going to be a goal kick with 3:45 left in the first period. Carthage up 1-0.
You got an update on that other tilt, Illinois Wesleyan?
I do, Tim. They're at the 15-minute mark, and it looks like North Park may have just scored. Looks like they may have just gone up 1-0. As I look at it, I see the video, and yep, they did 1-0 North Park. So
1-0 North Park. So trying to hold on to that second spot right now. North Park with a 1-0 lead and Wheaton down could change things a little bit at the top of the standings, Mike.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, the CCIW is going to be a dogfight. If Carthage is fourth in the CCIW right now, and they've got a 1-0 lead on Wheaton, who's number 1 and 5th in the country.
Right.
A nice play by Wheaton's keeper to come out and grab that.
It was sort of a flared ball thrown in there, thrown into the mixer, seeing if someone could get an end on the end of it, a flick. Wheaton, number 25, just makes a huge burst down the field. Looks like he simulates a foul, and the ref buys it. So he's going to give his team a dead ball about the corner of the 18. Very dangerous play coming across. Mata's really got to be on his toes. Carthage has to be man-to-man marking with two guys on the back end trying to win the ball going forward.
Tim, this is what you were talking about early. The calling card is to make that mistake and make it late. This is feeling like an opportunity here for Wheaton that Carthage needs to hold strong.
Number 20 runs over the ball. 7 looks like Noah Anthony is going to play it across. Plays it across to the back post. Does I think Carthage a little bit of a favor playing to the back post. Unable to get any type of flick or anything, a redirect. Carthage is going to play that ball not quite out of danger, but out of bounds here, with Wheaton still in the attacking third here with a lot of players up. So Wheaton coming forward with 8 right now, playing 2 back and a wide flanker here, looking to get some a loose ball out here and have a driving shot from about 30 out.
Minute 35 on the clock.
This would be a big win to save that goal kick, and Carthage does. So a minute 24. You'd really hate to give the lead up here late. It'd be nice if Carthage could sort of get that ball downfield, play to the corner, and see if they can't get a redirect a shot on net here late in this first half.
Absolutely. You got the momentum going into the second half. You give Wheaton a chance to score. They not only tie the game up, but they probably take the momentum from you.
Yeah, and Mike, you think about it. You have the wind going next half. Granted, it doesn't change, and we know it can do that here, with this Lake Michigan weather here in beautiful Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Great point, Tim. For those people that haven't been to Carthage before, they're situated right on Lake Michigan. They've got probably 2 miles of lakefront property that during the winter times can get pretty gruesome.
Big win here. Looks like a counter and a foul.
That may be a card.
A yellow card. That's going to be a yellow card.
The center judge is going to go. Wheaton is contesting this.
That could be a red card because he was well behind with not many players back, ruining, a very deliberate professional foul. A lot of times, if you watch some of the contests out there, they will go by deliberate action, not necessarily the harm the foul caused.
Tim, if you look at Wheaton, I think they're contesting that in the corner, Carthage had a foul that should have been a card. I think they're okay with a foul here, but they really want to square it up.
I mean, number 8 is talking, and Elliot Borge. I think Philip Dyminski, or I'm not sure who that was in the back that won the ball. He did have his cleats up a little bit, but no contact was made. Here there was a deliberate play to take a situation, an advantageous situation from Carthage, who was going on a 3v2. Granted, they win that ball on the outside.
Yeah, Borge may want to watch himself. He's talking to the side ref here, and they'll quickly pull another yellow card or even a red card for dissent or talking back to the ref. So I think Wheaton wants to be careful here. What's done is done. Pick up the pieces, and you move on.
Mike, that's a great point. That's what these kids really need to learn, because you can't change what's already been called, so there's really no reason. You might want to give the ref so you make sure he calls that for you next time, but, continuing to banter with the officials is not going to get you very far. I've liked what Carthage has done. They've kept pretty quiet. I haven't seen a lot of talking with the other team. I haven't seen a lot of communication with the official. They're just sort of letting their play speak for itself. However, Wheaton in the last about 12 minutes, I think, has had more of the ball possession, which is something that Carthage needs to be reminded of. It's only a 1-0 game against number 5 in the country. You need to stay on your toes, and having possession of that ball takes a lot of pressure off your back line.
Yeah. Well, Tim, you're right. Most of the game has been played between the 20s. Really, there hasn't been a lot of dangerous plays. I think each team has had 1 or 2, and fortunately for Carthage, they've capitalized.
So a ball set in, looking for a flick on. Carthage does win it, sends it in.
He's going to be off. He's going to be off.
Yeah, I believe that's Riley. Riley in an offsides position. Never got behind that back in front of that last defender.
No, that's tough. He's deep in because they're lined up that way, and he just got caught.
Wow, with the win, the goalkeeper for Wheaton hasn't sent many balls past midfield. So again, something to be mindful of as the wind shifts for the games for the teams in the second half.
That's right, Tim. That's Matt Paprocki from Downers Grove North. So he's from Illinois.
Wow, Mike, a late shot. I don't know if it would have counted with the time, but Mata just had to make a big save on a ball that was shot from about 40 yards away. That would be a terrible way to go into the first half, giving up a goal here in the waning seconds.
It sure would. So that ends the first half with Carthage College 1, Wheaton College 0. And to take us through the stat line here, Carthage College had 6 shots to Wheaton's 3. But Wheaton did have 3 on goal versus Carthage's 4. So each team has had 3 saves. Carthage has had 1 corner. And the foul total has been pretty much similar. 8 for Carthage and 7 for Wheaton. The one thing that does stand out, though, is Carthage has got 2 offsides, and Wheaton has 1. So that's something that they're going to have to improve on, is keeping their guys on side so that they can make those dangerous plays. Wouldn't you say, Tim?
Yeah, Mike. As we look, you have about 15 minutes, and Coach Domin really has to, talk to his team and sort of say, hey, it's often said, but it needs to be repeated that, this is an even game. It's 0-0. We're playing to be at the top of the conference. A win here puts us vaults us right back into, probably second position in the conference, beating the top team and one of the top in the country. And when you're on a 7-6 record and you feel you should be 9-4, these kind of wins are very important for your credentials getting into the postseason.
Well, that's true, and that's what Coach Doman's going to be telling those guys. What do you think Wheaton's coach is going to be saying, Tim, to his players?
Well, let's get back to that. We're looking at a replay of the goal as you see a double flick header and then a one-time volley to the outside corner, far post, past the diving goalie. The ball hits right in front of the keeper, and he's unable to make a play on that off that carry.
Well, that's a tough one for the goalie for Wheaton, Matt Paprocki. He had no chance of saving. That thing was just a laser in the side netting. Yeah. Beautiful goal by Reyes.
And as we look at some of the highlights here, Mike, be reminded both of the center mids for Carthage played a whale of a first half. They kept really the ball possession, for the bulk of the first 35 minutes of the contest. Wheaton did, I think, have possession later towards the end of the half, but you would have thought that coming into the game, especially with the wind advantage in the first half.
Yeah, that could make a difference here. And if I look at those goalposts, the flags there, they seem to pick up.
They have, Mike. Mike, you're right. It is, as you look here, the flags are really moving. Should be an advantage for Carthage. They do like to play that long ball through, so they'll have to put a little bit of a curl on that ball to keep it from going directly to the keeper. Even those balls that are driven low and on the ground need to be sort of played at a certain pace so they get behind the defense, but they're not all the way to the goal.
Yeah, that's a good point. They don't want to put it too far that every play is really, especially with the field. I know it hasn't rained for probably 4 or 5 hours, but it's still slick. You can see some of the guys slipping around there, and some of it is just because of the synthetic turf field has some rubber pelleting, and that's going to play into how they actually get footing.
What's interesting, Mike, is nearly every field now in the Midwest has gone to this playing surface. I believe it's an Astro Play type of surface put in the early 2000s on a nice donation from a few big donors to Carthage. And as you can see, it's really done wonders. The crown of the field I don't think is as steep and doesn't need to be, letting a traditional soccer player feel like he's playing on a flatter surface where he can direct the ball in, see the field a little bit better. In a traditional football field, they have a tall crown. Sometimes it's sort of hard to see left to right and switch fields as easily.
All right, Tim, so it's 1-0 Carthage over Wheaton. What do you think Carthage is going to do coming out for the second half?
What I'd like to see is a couple things, Mike. I'd like to see them play sort of a really mix in and maybe not play such a deep sweeper, but try to keep a little bit of about 5 yards between the stopper sweeper, both covering an area so Wheaton can't really play that ball through the center of the field. That's one thing. The other thing I'd like to see is Carthage come out and really possess the ball, put Wheaton on their heels again, preventing Wheaton from having those easy opportunities. Mike just took his headset off, and that gives me a chance to really talk to you guys here about some of the things Coach Doman's traditionally said at these halftimes. No, I won't bring some of those things up. It's not for the airwaves. But I think what Coach Domin is trying to do here at halftime is give his kids a pat on the back for the way they played in the first half, the way they really came at the Wheaton Thunder and didn't sit back on their heels and rest on their laurels. They took it to them, as told by the shot total. I think they had the better of play and shots on the net. Wheaton really had that one dangerous shot on the net. Everything else that sort of came in at the goalie was sort of off a dribble play where Mata came out and just smothered the ball. Not a lot of
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think both keepers have played well. I mean, they've had a couple of strong shots put on them, albeit they've been at them, but they've made it in a wet condition. They've made it. It's actually a little foggy, which is deceiving because you don't feel the rain or you don't feel the moisture coming down. But I can see it. If you look up in the lights, Tim, you can see it's either the heavy fog, and that's going to happen here because the lake is going to give you that effect. And some teams that don't play here often, they don't always know that that's happening.
Yeah, Mike, that's a great point. Plus, you look at the background, and you know, a lot of props go out to Dr. Bond and what he's done with the surface out here and in all the facilities that Carthage now has. So, I mean, the lights, the field turf, I mean, the new goals, the bleachers out here. You know, enough can't be said for what they've done with the facilities since the late 90s here in Kenosha.
All right, Tim, so it's a little early to do this, but let's just fast forward and say that the North Park and Illinois Wesleyan game ends at 1-0 North Park, and this game stays at 1-0 Carthage. What does that do to the CCIW standings? Because it looks like it shakes it up.
It certainly does, Mike. It's that put North Park solely in first place with a 3-0 conference record. Wheaton and Carthage would both be at 2-1, as well as did North Central. What was the outcome there? They're 1-2.
Yep.
Yeah, they lost earlier today. That's correct. So that they'll put Carthage squarely in the second position with a big win over head-to-head against Wheaton. So if everything stayed equal the rest of the way, Carthage would be in that second spot and have a home game during the conference tournament.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting. But I have a feeling this game is far from over.
Yeah, Mike, that's a great point here. I mean, 45 minutes to play. You know, Wheaton's not number 5 in the country for nothing. They play a very difficult schedule year in and year out. They have really solid players. They have some targeted players up front that, you know, on any given play can find the back of the net. So if you're Carthage here, you really need to, you know, possess that ball, keep that middle. You got to hold that middle. On those balls crossed in, you have to be willing to play those out and not just sort of get too cute in the back with a giveaway that puts us in an awkward spot.
Well, we're halfway through the halftime period. Wheaton coach Giuliani's got his team in the corner still huddled up. They're game planning. And it looks like Coach Domin and the Carthage College Redmen are still inside the locker rooms game planning as well. So obviously both teams looking to play a tactical match here, and they're gonna digest what they've seen, and they're gonna make some adjustments, and they're gonna come out firing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to do it. There's 45 minutes to play for, you know, what looks like it's going to be a dogfight in the conference. Any team looks like they can win on any given day. So, you know, like I said, we had that game against North Central that, you know, very much in favor of us from a shot and possession situation, and we were on the wrong end of it. So you never know how any game can go in the conference. So every time you have a chance to win, it is critical to do so.
Well, looking at the weather here, Tim, it looks like it's dropped to about 53 with 98% humidity, and it's only showing 2 miles an hour wind, but I don't know if I agree with that. If I had my 9-iron out, we could really tell, huh?
Let's go down to Luke Schuler, who's down on the field. Maybe he can give us a bit of an update here on what the conditions feel like down there versus up here in the press box where we are.
It's actually it's chilly, but it's not bad. I think the game is keeping people warm, and I gotta tell you, just being on the surface here, it is a little slick. I think I heard you guys talking about that. It is slick, but I think the players know that and they're prepared.
Great, Luke. Thanks for the update. That's really good knowledge to have up here, Mike. As we're in the booth and we can see down, it doesn't look all that slick. We can't really feel the wind coming through the press box, but we do see the flags moving. So it's good to get that live update from down on the field.
Tim, do you expect to see the lineups about the same for the start of the second half as they were in the first half?
Yeah, Mike, we didn't have a lot of substitutions. I wouldn't be surprised, though, potentially to see our leading goal scorer, Dombrowski, start off on the bench for the first maybe 10 or 15 minutes and then come in as that super sub in the second half, only because I think we need him down the stretch if that game's to get tight again.
Well, that'll be interesting to see if they go that route. Looks like Wheaton's warming up now. They've got the bulk of their team on the field, and still no sight of Carthage.
Yeah, this is, in a situation like this, Coach Domin often does this, where he keeps the team in the locker room a little bit longer because of the cold weather, the climate. You want to get them warm just maybe a couple minutes prior to getting back out there and playing, because you're going to tend to get cold if you're just standing around. Here comes the Carthage College Redmen, just coming out of the tunnel and crossing onto the pitch right now. Looks like Cale Brown leading the team out here for the second half warm-ups. Carthage walking out to the field a little slow and no rush to get out there. I think they're lathered up from a real strong first half and ready to come out and show Wheaton how good they are.
Tim, looking over the rosters, looking at Wheaton Colleges, the thing that stands out with me is they've got a lot of characters from all over the country. It's not just the Midwest. Is that typical for Wheaton?
Yeah, Mike, that's a great point. Wheaton's able to use that Billy Graham Center and some of that Christian Sciences to pull kids from all over. Traditionally, they've had players that have transferred from D1 schools, so Wheaton does have an advantage there. They're known pretty far and wide. Kids coming from all over to go into a certain curriculum. We have kids here from Ohio and Michigan, all the way down to Texas, Virginia. So you're seeing them have a sort of a wide draw. They can cast a wide net for kids that are looking for a certain type of education and go to a certain type of university.
So Tim, if we get granular here on the shot totals, it looks like for Carthage, Reyes is leading with 2 shots on net here, and for Wheaton College, it looks like Elliot Burke is 2 shots as well. The one thing that kind of stands out for me for Wheaton is Hollingsworth has none, and I don't think that's the game plan for Wheaton. I think Goals and Hollingsworth are going to be 2 guys that are going to be looking to get the ball on net.
Yeah, Mike, I think in the second half you're going to probably see Wheaton make a couple adjustments. They didn't use the middle of the field all that well, and that could have been a situation where Chavez and his castmates did a really good job of clogging the middle up and winning most of those balls. Pignataro was really good in the air, really stingy when guys tried to come up the field in a 2v1 situation, used sort of his length to divert them back outside. And I think if they can't come up the middle, they're asking a lot of their one-on-one players on the outside to win those battles and then cross it into a marked player. And then to get on the other end of that for Goals is going to be tough if he's being challenged.
That Illinois Wesleyan North Park match is now at halftime, and it's still holding. North Park 1, Illinois Wesleyan 0. The shot total on that game is fairly close as well. North Park has got 6 shots to Illinois Wesleyan's 5. So, 2 very similar games going on here in the CCIW. 2 minutes left before halftime. Both teams are out there warming up. It looks like this game is underway and is going to be underway in a couple of minutes here, and we're gonna see a result here in 45 minutes, Tim.
Yeah, Mike. 1:40 to go here on the halftime clock. Game should get going soon, and we'd be remiss not to thank everyone listening on these airwaves here. All you Wheaton supporters and Carthage supporters should be really proud of the 2 teams that you're seeing out here. Both teams are playing hard, they're playing physical, and they're playing fair. There's been a couple yellow cards. Really only reminded of the one near the end of the half on Wheaton. I don't remember the other 2. It could have been down in the far corner of the field where you couldn't see the referee issue that plastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, for the most part, the game's been played between the 20s. A couple of professional fouls by both teams to keep the other team from having an advantageous situation.
Yeah, so maybe it would make sense before the half got kicked off here to thank our folks here, Mike and John running the booth and the audio. You guys got a really impressive setup here, and you got 4 or 5 other folks running the cameras, and I got to say, A1 all the way, guys.
Yeah, a real class setup here, Mike. Haven't gone to Carthage. This new setup is first class. The whole arena, the field, the stands. I mean, you can see that it's really catered to the fans. They can go in and watch from indoors, come up to the press box for some of the other fans, and they've just done a spectacular job of bringing this coverage out to fans that can't make it out to the Keller Field.
Absolutely. Well, we got about 10 seconds left till half starts. It's October 15th. It's halftime. 1 Carthage, 0 Wheaton College. So we're about ready to kick it off here with a couple of seconds. So I'm excited, Tim.
As am I, Mike. I'm hoping everyone's enjoying the broadcast. I mean, this isn't our first time in the booth, but it's probably the most fun I've had up here. What would you say?
Oh, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I always enjoy getting out here and watching these games together, especially we used to play them together, and now we're announcing it together.
One shout out. I want to say something to our alumni that especially from the years of '98 and '99. Some great guys that really started a real fine tradition here at Carthage. Some magnificent players that sort of took the Carthage program from nothing and made it what you see today, where you're always fighting for a chance at playing in the postseason.
Absolutely, Tim. So it looks like we're about ready to kick off here. It's similar lineups to start the game here at the second half as we did to start it. So we're off the way, and Wheaton's going to put the ball on the defensive end of Carthage right away.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to not let that wind affect them. But as you can see, that ball really hung up in the air. Chavez outside to number 3, Arnaldo Reyes, who plays it up. It looks like Dombrowski did get the start. Am I seeing that right?
Yes,
that's that is Dombrowski. So we'll see if he can maintain his wind. Like I said, he comes off the bench in a lot of games. It might be for a reason. Maybe he doesn't have the endurance to go the full 90, or even the 45 in each half. Maybe he's Coach Domin knows his guys really well. So I'm sure he's doing what's best for the team in this situation. Ball played wide upfield to Arnaldo Reyes, who's got the ball in the corner. Plays a weak ball across. He's unable to.
Is that a Wheaton foul or that's a Carthage foul?
It looks like a Carthage foul. Reyes lost the ball a little and then tried to make a tackle somewhat from the side and near the back. So
that's not a bad foul.
No.
We're deep in Wheaton zone. Oh, that ball's out. That is out.
Those are the fouls, Mike, where either you want to keep the guy pinned in, or if you do create the foul, it's not that bad of a situation. There's a throw in for Carthage around midfield. Ball sort of flicked on. Wheaton's got the ball back in midfield. Wheaton plays it in around the 40, tries to go opposite field. Again, that ball hangs in the air, headed out. You can see Carthage is sort of going with that tactical back here where no one's really playing a deep sweeper setup. They're playing a little bit more straight line, which could be a problem from getting in behind the Carthage D, but can also help you with any type of offsides trap, which you just saw Carthage play to perfection. So the ongoing runner, I believe, Goals, tried to make a run upfield, and he was in an offsides position because of the flat back, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Carthage had him flat, and if I had read that right, Wheaton had more than 2 guys up front on that, so it looks like they're coming out swinging.
Well, here comes Carthage, too. The ball played up the side, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. The ball is sort of trying to carry. Carthage trying to play a lot of these balls forward again, and the ball is running off the table.
Yeah, it is.
In the first half, they were able to play some of those balls. The ball would hang in the air, and they were getting on the end of it. So they're going to have to make that adjustment if they're going to play sort of a dump and run or play to the corner flags. It's not a terrible strategy to play a dump and chase to keep the ball on the other team's side of the field. You just have to, be mindful that you're not giving up too much possession when doing that.
Yeah. I think both teams are going to want to settle down and really go for the easy pass.
Here comes Wheaton on a 3v3, but 12 goals. It looks like plays that ball way out in front of him and loses an opportunity to have an advantageous situation for the Wheaton Thunder. Pignataro with a great ball win in and around his own 25-yard line. Deflected out of bounds. We'll see a goal kick for Giovanni Mata.
We haven't seen many goal kicks from Mata, so let's see what he can do with the wind if he can get this thing tuck it in dangerously at least to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Mata's a big kid. He takes up a lot of that goal. So if you're an oncoming goal scorer and you see him, you've got a little less goal to hit at it.
There he goes. A nice skip by Pignataro. Reyes is on it if he can get around the Wheaton defender.
He just
and a nice step up by the Wheaton goal at Peprocki.
I would have liked to see Reyes react a little bit quicker. Dombrowski, what I like to see forwards do, and a lot of them don't, is anticipate your teammate winning the ball. That way you can get in behind and beat the defender to the ball. A lot of times what you see is a wait-and-see approach. Oh, he won it, and now I'm going to try to get in behind you. And then it's too late. Usually the defender's got body position on you and able to win that ball.
Good point, Tim. I got to tell you, Reyes seems really locked in. He is focused.
Look at Pignataro, though. I mean, he's not the captain for nothing, Mike. I mean, the guy has been all over the field. He's wearing that 11 jersey. And if you go back into the laurels at Carthage, that's a jersey that's been played by a defensive center mid for a lot of years. So
it is, and Pignataro is a long line of Pignataros that played at Carthage. Most recently, Greg, who is down. I see him down there on the sidelines cheering on, getting the crowd going.
Yeah. Oh, it's a slip through, but Dyminski gets to it and makes a nice play on the ball. That could have been a very dangerous situation. Mike, back to your Pignataro comment. Yeah.
Yeah, Greg's the part-time assistant. He's still helping out with the program, but I think during the games he likes to get some of the crowd.
Yep.
And you can hear him. I don't know if you guys can hear him at home, but he's getting them going right now. He's got his drumsticks and he's cheering on his little brother. Yeah, who's doing a great job tonight.
That's great to see. And we have a long line of brothers having played for Carthage at the same time during a campaign, and even at different times in their careers. So, you know, there are too many to name, but there's been a lot that I can remember. What a great ball played for. Oh! We have a foul at the top of the box.
That was rough. He might get a card, Tim.
He might be on his second one. I believe that's number 8. Did he have a card earlier?
That's number
Elliot
2.
Borge? Was that number 2?
That was 2. Defender
Steven
Fernandez.
Okay. It looked from here where we're up here in the booth, it looked like that might have been number 8, and I think he's already got awarded the plastic.
Well, we had a chance to watch Carthage practice these dead balls, these set pieces recently.
Really, yeah.
And Chavez has got a heck of a leg on him here. It'll be interesting to see if they go with one of their trick plays or if they just let him take it right at the net.
You know, Mike, I'd like to see here, you know, with the wind, that ball struck sort of low, maybe at about the waist height, and bent around the wall. There looks like there's going to be some open air on the wide side, deep into the, I'd say, the southwest corner of the goal.
Here we go.
Goalie's got a lot of the coverage. Chavez.
And it's right at it. It's right at the
wall.
But wait a minute.
Oh.
And that's Reyes again. Reyes in the right spot. Hey, he's offsides, but he is putting himself in dangerous positions.
Yeah, Mike, I'd like to see Chavez do a little bit better with that dead ball. That was a very dangerous dead ball to be awarded in a game. You know, fit for a better shot, I'd say.
Well, Paparaki's played well, and he's not overly tall. He's 5'11", from Downers Grove North, but he can get his hands up quickly, and it looks like Wheaton's got an opportunity here.
Dyminski makes a nice play. Again, they're playing that flat back. They're not really playing a sweeper so that they can cover more ground laterally, and maybe that's why Wheaton hasn't had as much ball possession or played sort of a targeted player, and they're more willing to go down the sidelines. Here's an opportunity to switch fields for Chavez, and he plays a through ball that I don't think Reyes is going to get on the end of. But
Rimkus really hustled to that ball. That's the true freshman right there, working hard at his hometown.
That's a kid trying to earn his minutes right there. You know, I remember playing with a guy that lacked that hustle, but he was one hell of a player, and he's sitting right next to me, folks. And I kid you on that. He was a 2-time All-American. So, but you had to throw a little jab here because you know laziness was one of his better qualities as well.
I appreciate that, Tim.
You know, he's the type of guy that had a lot of guys do the work, and then he'd tuck him away. But you need that type of player, and you were that guy, Mike.
You're right. One thing I noticed, Tim, when I look down on the field here, does it get confusing when you're playing on a football field with all the football numbers and letters?
You know, I don't think so. And until you get to those big patches that are between the 25s, when you start playing on those big white lines, you can sort of play play tricks with your eyes.
Okay, they're gonna give a foul on Carthage to Wheaton, but I don't think they're gonna give a card for that.
That was a good professional foul. It was sort of a sandwich play. One guy went low, one guy went high. I don't think there was a lot of intent. Definitely intent to slow him down and not give him a chance to carry that ball any further. But not a situation where a foul was committed from behind. Sort of a weak ball played in. Chavez is on the end of it. He's going to play that ball upfield to Rimkus. Rimkus to Dombrowski, outside to Reyes. Looks like an odd man situation. Wheaton
This
just
is where they're
came
going to
back.
switch the field. If he can get around.
He's got it.
Oh, this is what you were talking about, Tim. If you're going with the win, you've got to plan for it. And unfortunately, Reyes just hit it a little too hard on that one.
Oh, one of the situations on that play, Mike, was that ball was bent the wrong way. It needed to be played with the left foot, bananaing away from the goalie. Rather, that ball was played with trajectory going the other way.
Nice step by Rimkus.
Wow, it looked like that was a Carthage ball, but both the ref and the linesman are going to be talked into the call going Wheaton's way.
Interesting. What is that, a pushing or holding call?
It looks like they're going to call a foul. It looks a little mysterious, but look at Rimkus again with the hustle. And up to Dabrowski.
Nice ball by Debo.
Okay. Carthage trying to do a lot of connections up the middle here, and they're just not able to get the ball on the foot of their teammate as well as they'd like. Debo, nice check.
He's got Reyes on the outside.
Reyes is in a one-on-one situation.
Now we need someone to run the corners for him. Debo's running to the corner.
Nice.
That's a nice touch by Reyes. If
Debo,
Dabrowski.
It's sort of hard, Mike, to see that southeast corner here from the booth, so had to watch that one on TV. It looked like Dabrowski should have stopped and put the brakes on and maybe handled that ball with his back to the goal rather than trying to take that ball forward.
I got to tell you, Tim, Reyes, the outside left midfielder right now, is playing extremely offensive, and it is a pleasure to see us on the defensive side of Wheaton.
That's been a staple of a Coach Domin team for years. I mean, you can remember the outside flanks of a Brent Malmstrom and a Ben Gramke, where they really won a lot of those one-on-one battles, which gave our team that extra that scoring punch and those opportunities. Great win by Debo. Pignataro there to pick up the loose change. And
nice touch around.
We got a little creative back in the back, which is something that we want to avoid doing too much of in the second half, because now you see Wheaton's won the ball. They're in our attacking third. They're in our defensive third, trying to make a play outside. And a great winning tackle again by, I believe that's number 20. Is that Towsend?
That is Towsend.
I think that's Towsend. Used his length there, but we reward Wheaton with a corner kick. Again, playing a little too cute on the outside when that ball could easily be played up the flank and let your offense go try to win that ball.
Yeah, Towson's another freshman from Deer Park, went to Barrington, and that's something that Carthage is going to enjoy. Is a lot of these young players are going to be playing year after year, Tim.
Interesting. That ball looks like it's barely on the corner mark. Mata might have to come up with a big save here. Ball played in, played real low. I don't think what Wheaton was trying to get out of that play. The first corner of the game, number 7, Noah Anthony plays a low ball that doesn't even make it to the near post.
Yeah, I think when they look back at the game tape, their set pieces, the field set piece, and then this corner kick were probably two they're going to want to have back.
Yeah, traditionally you've seen Wheaton with some very good set pieces. Again, a lost ball at midfield by Reyes, who's had a very good game, gives Wheaton some numbers going forward.
That's not the high percentage shot that Wheaton wants.
Yeah, Mike, you're looking at that. That's about a 25-yard plus shot. In fact, that ball is going almost 30 yards in against the wind. Looks like on his left peg, not his stronger foot, and played well wide.
I think Wheaton's shown a little bit of frustration. Credit to them. They, as ranked number 5 in the nation, every team they play is going to be on their game, and they're going to be coming out as hard as they can. So they've got to be ready for it. And there's a nice intercept by Chavez, and he gets around to Debo. If Debo can get a shot off, and it's right at the keeper, just not enough speed on that ball.
Yeah, Mike, the pace on that run was really solid. The problem with it was Debo, when he shot the ball, it was up into his body. He didn't get that ball extended, so he was unable to make a real accurate, hard-driven shot.
Crane's going to get himself his first yellow card of the game, the senior out of Hawthorne Woods. He held on to him just a little too long. I think if he would have let go a couple seconds earlier, he wouldn't have got that. He wouldn't have got that card.
Mike, interesting you mentioned that, because then the call should have been made well earlier until he got back into his body in position and then won the ball. So if you're going to call the foul, and reward him with the free kick. But that call was a little late for my liking. So Debo back with the ball on the outside, takes the ball with the play up the middle, sends it out to Rimkus. Head down, probably better a chest trap or play that wide to the outside.
We're gonna need Mate to come out on this.
I really like Mate's positioning. He's not deep in his net, able to come out and smother those balls that are played through. And
yeah, that's sort of an attacking keeper, if you will.
very aggressive.
Some teams like their keeper to stay back on the line, so they're not susceptible to a deep shot or an errant pass that floats in. But Carthage doesn't have that philosophy. A nice flick by Reyes up to Rimkus.
Rimkus has had that's going to be a corner kick.
Interesting
Whoa.
call there. They're going to give that one to Wheaton. Apparently,
not sure I understand what the call or anything was on that.
This is going to be a substitution for Carthage, which again, not a lot of substitutions, Tim. And like you said, each team, their starters are playing heavy minutes.
Yeah, that's going to be number 12, Ivan Chavez, who's just had a whale of a game. He's been everywhere on the field. He's created a lot of situations to give us an opportunity to go forward. So hopefully he can come back out in the second half, get a little bit of a breather because he has played a bulk of the minutes here, and we're going to need him down the stretch in this game. That is simulation if I ever saw it. It's an advantage, a play by Reyes that just sort of got in the guy's way, and again, awarding a free kick at about the 34-yard line. Very dangerous spot in a college game and any type of soccer match.
Tim, how about the tone of this play? Has it changed from the first half to the second? It's aggressive now.
Yeah, it is. There's been a lot more fouls. It's been a lot more aggressive. Both teams, really are understanding what they're playing for. Wheaton with the ball played across. Carthage picks it off there in the middle. Look at Dombrowski with that hustle. And they're going to award a throw into the Wheaton Thunder. Wheaton has come out. They're not playing as deep a back line as they were in the first half. They're coming out a little bit more aggressive, which is interesting because now they're against the wind. So maybe they either feel the need to, given the way the climate's changed for them, or maybe it was their plan all along to really come out in a really aggressive later in the match.
Oh, absolutely. This crowd is starting to get into it. I think we've got probably about 110 people here right now.
Just from what we can see, and then if you look out to the wide sides, there's probably another couple hundred.
That's a good point, Tim.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have a throw-in. Another dead ball awarded by the referee, who's made a lot more foul calls. He had 15 in the first half. I think he might be on 15 here in the second half already. Both teams getting a little more chippy, and the aggression has certainly picked up. That ball one down.
Oh, that
very crafty shot.
Interesting play by.
I think that was Adam Blackman, forward, that tried a little bit of a Wayne Rooney, if you will. That ball headed down, and he tried to just do a pseudo bicycle kick and just get it over the outstretched hands of Mata.
He didn't get enough on it. You know what, Tim? Correction. That was number 8, Elliot Borg. Elliot Borg has got the most shots for Wheaton today. It's no surprise he put another one on net.
You know what? Mata's really been fit for his task, though, in the back there. He didn't let something come in. We have another yellow card awarded. I cannot see the player's number. I think he's going to come out of the game. It might be Rimkus, who's really played a tough physical game, and being on a yellow card scares me for a guy like Rimkus, who's playing all out all the time.
Well, you got to remember, Tim, too, it's these yellow cards matter not only for this game, but they add up. They're cumulative,
yes.
and it could impact the game against, say, an Illinois Wesleyan or North Park down the line. So we got to be smart.
Yeah, we definitely right there, Mike. And one thing you want to, give credit to Steve Domin. He's got a really deep bench this year. He's able to go probably 6-7 deep off the bench and not lose a lot with his second line.
Yeah.
Which is a luxury to have. All right, a dead ball played. It's played short. Wheaton just going to go with possession. Now tapered up the field. Carthage wins it and plays it back to midfield. So.
Oh, if Debo is on a chasing ball here, and
wow,
a nice play by the Wheaton keeper to get up there before Mike Dombrowski could get there.
Yeah, Debo just showed you really what he's about and why he's got so many goals in his career. He's got that first step quickness. He's a little slithery than you think he is, and he's able to find those seams and get through those cracks. Very smart, heady player.
Nice intercept by Reyes.
Great intercept. Oh, I like that slotted ball, a little wide.
It was
a
little wide.
bend.
I think he thought Mike Dombrowski was going to come in, but I got a feeling Mike's a little tired.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Is I was surprised he actually came out in the first half starting. Look at that
We've
slotted
got a nice
ball. He was onside.
here. Mike gets it behind Reyes. Reyes has got an opportunity to either cross this or put it on net. He's going to put it back.
Riley to Crane. Oh, still with the ball.
Oh, and he just ran out of bounds there.
Really big ball. I would have liked to see Reyes put his head down and maybe just go to net and really put the Wheaton player on his heels.
I think you're right, Tim. I think you want to put a dangerous ball on net because who knows? It might bounce off that keeper and go to a dangerous spot for us.
And even if it's not on net, you're in the box and there's always a chance for that foul.
Okay, 27 minutes left. Still Carthage 1-0.
And a big throw in all the way to the penalty dot. Flick to the back post with a chance at net. Carthage still with the ball. 17 plays it in. Wheaton on a counterattack. Wheaton wins the ball there at midfield, driving fast down the field. Play it outside wide to Burke.
Here's where you just want to contain them. You don't need to pressure.
And he tries to play ball to the middle, easily won by Carthage.
Carthage has an opportunity to get open here. Dombrowski's onside, and he's going at goal, Tim. He is going at goal, and he takes a shot. It's just high.
It's a hell of a left-footed rip, Mike. What I like there is Dombrowski not afraid to shoot that ball from a tight angle and put that ball nearly on net.
That was the same exact play. Fast forwarded about a minute, and that's what we're looking for, a ball on net.
Right, I love that. I love that counterattack by Carthage. Playing that flat back, not letting that ball come into our middle of our field where Wheaton's most dangerous.
Good ball control by Carthage here. They're making the easy pass, and I think that's what they want to continue to do.
I'd like to see 17 there, Ryan Crane, knowing he could get a sub here in this half.
Step.
Make that run down the line.
Good step by Coughlin.
The problem is that ball rose up, had him in the hand, and the ref's going to award a kick on something that, didn't really change the play all that much. And, in a lot of the games I've been seeing, the refs are letting some of that go and not really calling those plays and those deflections that don't change the pace of the ball or don't change really the direction of where it was meant to go.
Well, with 26 minutes left, you could tell Wheaton has put a sense of urgency on.
Good win by the Riley. Given a little bit earlier of a ball gives Dombrowski a chance to break open down the wide side. Oh, almost a win. Coughlin tried that win. It was a little dangerous in that he almost slid and took a guy out. But here comes Carthage again. No call.
Dombrowski right in the middle. He's got an opportunity. He couldn't get his foot on it. It was a nice defensive play by Wheaton. I think that's Andy Blackman, I believe, or maybe Fernandez.
Dombrowski on a dead run, chest trap that ball popped up a little. If it came right down to his foot, he maybe had a chance to get a strike on net. But I like this. Carthage really coming out with 3 chances here in the last 3 or 4 minutes, Mike. Still trying to take it to Wheaton, not rest on their laurels, not back on their heels, but playing very smart in the defensive third. Trying not to foul, trying to win balls, and react to the play.
It's a nice play to goals. This is the guy that Wheaton wants to have the ball.
All right, good job slowing him down.
Good intercept. You got to get that upfield.
Mike, you bring up a good point. These are those plays, though, that tend to sort of cost you. They don't look like much, but all of a sudden Wheaton still has the ball, and it's a direct result or an indirect result of that play that didn't happen about 20 seconds ago.
Oh, there's some good footwork here by Wheaton.
He tries to get into the box.
Nice intercept.
Jamie
That's
Townsend.
Again,
really
a nice step up by a freshman.
You know what? Look at the size of the kid. He's got a very long span with his legs. He's able to stay in front of the defense. And we just gave up a corner. Nicholas Vogel won the ball, unable to keep it and play it out for a goal kick or a throw-in. So Wheaton's going to get another crack at a corner here in the second half. And this could be a dangerous situation. It looks like they're setting up for a short corner. Which could put some guys in an offside position.
That's a nice save by Mata. Again, he comes up big. That was going from our angle here. That was going side netting.
Mike, I still go back to the play that could have been made at our own 6-yard box. This is why we're still in our defensive third. These are those small little things that don't let you clear the ball, and Wheaton's still pressing the action right now. Had a big shot on net They just tried a dummy opportunity, and Carthage finally clears a little bit out of danger. Wheaton still with possession, though.
I think Carthage needs to settle down just a little bit. I'm sure there's some nerves. They're playing number 5 in the country. This is an important win for this team, and I think they're gonna be all right if they just settle down a little bit.
You know, at this point, Mike, I don't know if Carthage feels like they're playing Wheaton anymore. Right now, I think they're playing against a clock, and that's even a worse place to be. Oh, that's number 8. It looks like he's going to get booked. That's Corsten. He's a junior. I don't know if they're just stopping the clock. It didn't look like there was anything deliberate. Both guys going in for a 50-50 ball. One guy a split second behind. Nothing intentional there. But we do have an injury, I believe, to number 25. Looks like that's Marshall Hollingsworth.
That's him. He's going to book him. He's going to book him.
He is going to book him. That ball, though, as you could see, Mike, was clearly deflected by both players. Typically in a play where both players win and get a touch on the ball, you have a situation where there is no call. Now, the ref might have saw this differently. Number 8 for Carthage, Mitchell Corsten, is getting sent off right now, and he had words with the official, and he almost got booked for a red card, which we don't want to be down a man playing against Wheaton.
Quick update, Tim. Well, we got a little bit of a break. It looks like North Park's gone up 2-0 on Illinois Wesleyan, and I guess no surprise there. They've got about 34 minutes left in that game.
Well, Mike, thanks for that update. So yeah, that does put a change potentially to the top of the conference. You're going to see, maybe 1, 2, and 4 right now, all sort of flip-flop positions.
Well, there's a couple of yellow cards out there now, and I think both teams want to be careful. You do not want to get a second yellow to put your team down 1 man to 10.
I think that's the 3rd one this half for Carthage, and they're coming more on their midfielders and their forwards, and not so much their defenders, which tells me a lot. Tells me that Wheaton hasn't had a lot of great chances up front, but also tells me that Wheaton's starting to win the ball in the middle of the field, and that's going to create chances for them in the last 25 minutes of this game.
This is where good captains come in handy. They need to get their team together. They need to regroup for both teams, Carthage and Wheaton, and realize what their strategy was and try to stick to that.
Well, my assumption here is as bad as Hollingsworth went down, and as long as he stayed down, the fact that he needs help off the field, you might not see him back in this game. He's a junior from Libertyville, very talented player, and could be a big loss. He's got a lot of speed outside in the flank.
Without a doubt, Tim. He's second in stats for Wheaton at 6 goals and 6 assists. So he's not only a goal scorer, he's a playmaker.
Yeah, he's got 40 shots on goal in how many games here? 14 games. So he's getting about 3 up each game. So
I hope he's all right. You hate to see somebody go down like that, especially in big games.
It looks like he's walking a lot better as he gets closer to the sideline. So you might see him to return to action. I'm guessing it's probably something in the lower body, maybe a thigh or a quadricep.
Yeah, it looks like the trainers are tending him now. I bet you we'll see Hollingsworth back on the field.
This is where you'd think Goals has got a big advantage in height. Maybe get on the end of this, but no. Wheaton's going to play it short and wide out to the right, and play a ball in. Mata's fit for the task here. He's playing sort of deep on his line, but ready to come out. A big kid that isn't afraid to mix it up in the middle. And Mata with a big kick well past midfield, all the way up into the other 18. Wheaton all over Carthage's back, no call. I don't think there's been a call on Wheaton in the second half.
Oh, he puts one on net.
A low drive. What I like there is he picks out the corner. Could have sent that ball with a little more pace, but another shot on net. And anything on net can give up a rebound, Mike, as we've seen in our careers.
Well, and maybe that's a tribute to he's a senior this year, and obviously the more you've played in this league and more games you've had, the more experience you get, you're going to make the right moves. And I think that was a surprise shot, and it made sense.
You know what's interesting and what Towson just did right there? What I like is the freshman didn't just settle that ball. He's like, hey, let my wingers, let my forwards go do the dirty work up front. I'm going to get this ball out of danger. And I am not going to put our team at risk.
We got another loft ball here, Tim. If we could get on, and that's going to be a corner kick for Carthage.
Another good hustle play by Coughlin, who came in. He's fresh. You can see he's got the wheels. He's got the hunger to get upfield. and causes the Wheaton player who wanted to head back to his goalie but didn't want to put his goalie at risk, headed it a little too wide, giving Carthage an opportunity at a corner kick with about 20 minutes left.
So Carthage is going to take their time on this, aren't they, Tim, to set up the ball, get their players in, and give themselves an opportunity not only to burn some clock but get a goal.
Yeah, it's probably too early to be burning clock, but they're in no rush to do anything. Ball played long to the far post. Carthage really didn't look like they had numbers up for some reason. Looks like they're playing a 3 deep here on a corner kick. Ball driven in, headed back out by Wheaton.
Looks like Reyes is back in the game now, and he's over on the right side.
Wheaton unable to really clear that ball past midfield. Carthage with another ball win and an opportunity.
Another nice 50-50 ball.
Played out here to Nicholas Vogel, who's got a one-on-one opportunity, and he's going to get a shot off, and the shot is blocked at about the 18. Wins the ball back, though, to Dombrowski. Dombrowski back to Vogel. Vogel outside, but a little too hot for Cesar. Is that Cesar Garcia? Or number 14. Sorry, that was Austin Bitta, unable to make that play out on the outside. Pignataro.
I think they're going to hold up here. We might have another injured Wheaton player. I think he's okay. He's just got to shake that off a little bit. Sometimes you'll notice in soccer, I don't want to call it acting. I don't want to call it
simulation.
But you got to sell it sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with the Wheaton player did there.
You know, one thing there is for those that are maybe new to the game or haven't really played, what happens is it's not always simulation or acting. What it is a lot of times is you do get fouled. It does initially hurt, but it doesn't mean you're not able to then get up. But you do need to sell the fact that you got fouled, got clipped in the ankle, and couldn't make a play that you normally would have made.
Yeah, good point, Tim. Okay, so about 20-minute mark here. We're still 1-0 Carthage. Shot totals 9 for Carthage, 7 for Wheaton. So we've got a fairly even match game. Dombrowski's going to get himself
goes down. So I would probably call that simulation. He didn't have the best chance to get that ball, but a very good job by a veteran, crafty player. Sold himself and his team a chance at about, a 25-yard shot with the wind into a tough Wheaton defense. I'd like to see a shot put on net or played far post at about the 6-yard line. Those are the two things that should happen here on this dead ball.
Well,
Coach Domin should be telling him what he wants right now. Can you tell if Coach Domin's got a plan set up here?
And it looks like he got 3 Carthage players around this ball.
We got Bitta, a sophomore, is going to take it.
That is a nice shot on net, upper 90. He probably missed by a couple of feet, but not much.
Mike, that was sent towards that upper 90, and it was a little wide and high, but it was a very well-struck ball. I'd like to see that.
All right, Carthage is going to bring back in number 12, Ivan Chavez. He's their anchor in the middle, so he's rested for that final 20 minutes. And this is going to a nice step up by Carthage here to take that ball away.
Is that Vogel? There is Coughlin's had a couple opportunities and just hasn't been able to connect his feet as well as he'd like to the ball. Like to see him get his footwork down a little better, be able to control that ball and make a headier play.
You know, at this point in the game, Tim, Carthage has obviously got to be mindful of the attack, but this is the period where you can get a quick turnaround. You can counterattack because Wheaton's pushing up.
Yeah, Wheaton is pushing up, Mike, but this is also the chance where you lose a ball like they just did on the outside, and it puts your team in a little bit of danger because Wheaton is playing a lot higher from a defensive standpoint. He tries to Meg, but unable to do so. Great play.
Ooh, this is what we're talking
Number
about, a counterattack, Tim.
Atlee Einerson. Now we have a counter, and who is that on the far side? He's going to have a 2-on-2. But look at Dombrowski make a run.
Bitta's got it through to Debo. Dombrowski's got a shot. Not goal, but it's saved by Paprocki. That is a nice play on both sides.
What a run by Dombrowski. Had he had one more step and maybe not started this half and come off the bench, I bet he gets on the end of that with a cleaner shot.
Hats off by Paprocki, the Wheaton goalkeeper, because that was no easy save.
Are we sure that's Paprocki, not Pryor or Beard in the net for Wheaton?
Got him. Got him
It
on
is?
the stat sheet, number 31.
Thanks for that up there, Mike. Wow, another big throw opportunity for Towson, who's had some real big throws.
That's
in
a
this
deep
game.
throw. If the Carthage can skip it, it looks like Wheaton intercepted that.
Unable to flick, but we need Towson to win that ball. Very well done. Play that out. Those are those plays that can get you in trouble, Mike. Towson hopefully plays this up and out. Nice, Towson.
Ooh, that was a nice intercept by Wheaton. Tim, is there anything to the, when we played back in the day, everybody wore Copas. They were black and white shoes. Is there anything to the myth that the more fluorescent shoes you have, the better opportunity you have to win the game?
Mike, I don't know if you watched the World Cup, but I didn't see a guy that had black shoes in that whole game. White would have been considered traditional in that. It was all yellow and pink and purple and neon green. So the kids have really changed the style, and I think it's probably mostly coming from the Messis and Neymars and Eden Hazards of the world.
You know, it's probably good for the game. It's getting a lot of exposure, and you know what? They're having fun out there.
And Mike, I'll tell you one thing. If you've been to a soccer store lately, those shoes aren't cheap either. A Copa's running about $120, and that's cheap. So now you're seeing those shoes with a little bit of the stirrup there, $250, $275 for a pair of cleats. I hope my kid is saving up for when he plays. Here goes Coughlin with an opportunity, but Wheaton foils it. Number 19 safely plays it out. That was Ben Backey.
Reyes puts it outside to number 14
Carthage
for Carthage, Austin Bitta, and he
Bitta's
just
unable to get on the end of that, where Carthage has another chance with a rocket from about the 18. A soft call by the referee at the Wheaton owned 35. Professional foul by Carthage to slow things down. I didn't see a lot there, Mike.
Well, Tim, barring any miracle on ice, North Park has gone up 3-0 now with 25 minutes. I think we could call that
Looked
one done.
like offsides as Carthage had a trap on. Wheaton won the ball, but Carthage wins it right back. I really like this strategy. If Coach Domin has them playing that ball out, that's very wise by a veteran coach like Coach Steve Domin.
Browski's got a ball control here, and he's going to switch the fields, which we haven't seen a lot of that.
No, I think with the wind and the conditions and just the speed at which both teams are playing at, I don't think you're going to see a lot of field switching. Definitely a foul and something we want to watch out for. I don't know if Reyes is on a card or not, but a little chippy out there on the side, unnecessarily targeting the player's Achilles. Pignataro with another head ball win. Dombrowski does not know. No one tells me he has nobody on him, and he heads it instead of settling it. But another win of the ball. Looks like by number 12, Ivan Chavez, who's been all over the place. Him and Pignataro, man of the match so far.
Oh, looks like is that Marshall Hollingsworth? He's back on the field?
Is he?
For Wheaton, so it looks like he shook off that injury. And
good to see him back on the pitch there. Good to see nothing permanent happen.
Got an opportunity.
Good,
and here's a long ball to Debo. Debo brings it back to the 18. He's going to shoot it, and he's got an opportunity.
Oh my God!
That just goes off the keeper's fingertips.
You know what? It was two things. It was a great settle by Debo as he was running one way. The defender's coming at him. He had to sort of play it wide of himself. Had he been able to keep that a little tighter and get one more touch forward, probably gets a better shot off. But given the circumstance of how that was played, excellent shot at the far left corner. The goalie makes another diving save. But Carthage gets a corner kick out of it.
Yeah, Tim, I got to tell you, these long ball crosses have been very dangerous for Wheaton. We've had a couple of really good opportunities.
So here comes the corner put in play. It's a short one played out, but Chavez is back on the ball. And
he
gets a shot.
He's going to shoot it.
Oh, wow.
And three Carthage players are all around that ball.
Wow, a great job by
had a nice save.
Definitely up to the task because that ball was on point and drilled very hard. Any type of rebound, and Carthage is up 2-0 right now, Mike. All right, Wheaton back on the attack. Number 8 with the ball outside. Plays it to number 20, Max Carey. Plays it in the middle. Carthage heads it out. And Bitta's right there. Over to Dombrowski, who's 1-on-4. Safely plays the ball upfield, which is fine. Nothing really to do with that ball. Why not make them come back and recollect?
Give your team a chance to rest. They're playing a lot of minutes here, both teams. And Wheaton's going to re-attack here.
Yeah, you haven't seen, Mike, like you said in this half. We didn't expect to see a lot of substitutions. You go with the guys that got you here. And what we're seeing right now is both teams just a dogfight, as you said earlier.
It's a dogfight. Both of them are playing some good small ball, but I think the difference is Carthage's long ball has been much more successful than Wheaton's. And we've got
a total miss and a breakaway for Bitta.
And it's over. It's in!
What a shot by the freshman Austin Bitta. Sophomore Austin Bitta, he settles the ball, fights off a defender on his left shoulder, and is able to elevate the ball over Paprocki, who's made nearly every save this game.
Tim, this crowd is on there.
It's a frenzy down here. Woo!
That was a dagger.
And here's the flip side, Mike. You saw the error made by a Wheaton player who tried to chest it back, unable to. Carthage would have been in an offside position had Wheaton not touched that ball. That ball played by a Wheaton player puts him on sides, and you're up 2-0 with 13 to play.
Did you catch who just delivered that ball up to Bitta?
I didn't.
Was
It looked
that
like
Reyes?
it might have been Chavez. I think number 12 Chavez could have been.
Chavez
or it was
or
Reyes on the right side. Hard to tell. As we were looking at that ball just paced, a terrific ball just sent forward. And again, Wheaton has not played their traditional sort of deeper sweeper, and it's cost them a couple times on through balls.
Well, it looks like Dombrowski is playing more of a central mid now. They've pulled him back, and you know what? I think it makes sense.
Yep.
Wheaton has got to attack now if they want to get back in this game.
Oh, okay, a late whistle. He let the advantage play. Pignataro, probably the first ball he didn't play real wisely. Happens at a precarious spot on the pitch. I'd like to see Pignataro just head that ball upfield rather than lateral, putting his team in a little bit of a dangerous spot here. We have an offside. Mata gets back on his line, and the linesman's going to award a corner kick. I don't know if Mata should have been that deep out of his net with the ball going to be floating here, given Wheaton's going against the wind. But Mata gets back to his line and sort of plays that ball safely out wide where a Carthage player tried to keep it in from being a corner. But nevertheless, Wheaton's got a corner.
Well, it looks like Nicholas Vogel's down on the ground. He may have a leg cramp. He was involved in that last tangle. I got a feeling he's probably just cramping up.
Yeah, Vogel has logged heavy minutes, Mike, and it can start wearing on you. Even though it's not all that warm out, sometimes the muscles get stiff as well when it's a little bit colder.
That's going to happen. They call that the Lou DeFalco effect. Every now and then,
Can you
players
explain that?
Well, what happens is the players, with the moisture in the air and the amount that they're playing, they're losing their hydration. And
wow, really dangerous ball played back across the box by Wheaton. Now played safely out to midfield where Bitta will play it up a little bit further. Wheaton plays the ball back up. Dombrowski can't right make the play at midfield, and here comes Wheaton on the attack. Carter's got to be careful of committing any type of fouls, double them up, and win the ball. Very good win by.
That
is an awful call by the linesman. A flat-out awful call. As that ball was clearly won by Reyes. I'm not sure what he is calling.
Well, I think if Wheaton felt slighted at another call, they got it back there.
Oh, man.
It's even Steven.
That was a ball the Wheaton player sort of let loose. Reyes sort of stepped in front, got a foot on it. I don't know what exactly the linesman's calling or why the linesman's directing the 10-yard play. Right now, I'm Carthage. I'm over to the left a little bit. And that ball's going to be played short, but Carthage up to the task.
Oh, and that's
what a shot by Wheaton on a great set piece. Surprised Carthage wasn't playing a little higher on defense, given Wheaton's tried a lot of trickery on all their dead balls.
That is a stunning play.
With about 10.5 minutes to play, Carthage just put themselves in a very precarious spot.
I think, Tim, with all the
players, the linesman definitely had something to do with that one. Not sure where that call was or what the call was, but Wheaton with a very smart play, and you can see they've really worked on these set pieces.
Absolutely. I think there was
world-class set pieces by
just
Wheaton.
Too many people in the box, and I think Mata was probably screened because he didn't move on that ball.
No, I don't think Mata had much of a chance on that, Mike. That ball was piped to the far side. He did not have much of a chance to react, although he did make that late dive to see if he could get a palm on it. Again, though, it's sort of a situation.
Okay, two players are tangled up. This will be interesting what they're going to call here.
Yeah, so they're going to actually call Wheaton for, I think, their only second foul of the second half, which is amazing given how much action we've seen. Okay. So the linesman was not up to the task once again. However, the center referee was able to see who was at fault on that play.
Keep an eye on number 8 for Wheaton, Carthage number 20. They're talking to each other a little bit on that play. That could brew up there a little bit.
So now how big does that second goal look, Mike?
Well, that second goal is monumental. And then Carthage is looking to build one here with Debo. He's slick with the head.
Oh, geez, I don't think that was Debo. I think that was Rimkiss. Or was that Debo?
No, that was Dombrowski.
Yeah, you're right. That was Dombrowski flying like he normally does up the middle. Looked like I saw a 22 on that. Number 12 is starting to win a lot of balls. That's Steven Goals is starting to win a lot of balls in the middle. We might have some tired legs from Pignataro, who's logged heavy minutes.
Now that goal was...
The last thing we needed was what we just did. A two-hand push to the back, even though it was a lot of simulation by the Wheaton player. you just can't extend your arms.
You're right, Tim. It's a fair call, but
He's going
needed.
nowhere, Mike. He's going back with his back to the goal, 35 yards from your goal, and you just two-hand push him. And now you're giving them another set-piece opportunity.
Got 8.5 left. Carthage up 2-1. This ball is deep in the corner. It's a nice play by Wheaton.
Wow, another nice dead ball. I mean, Wheaton has made hay out of these dead balls. I mean, they're starting to get shots on net. If I'm Coach Domin, he needs to settle his guys down. He needs to find out who his leaders are on the field, and they need to start reacting and making some very heady plays. This could be a start of it right here.
Here's another 50-50 ball.
And I think the ref's going to call a handball.
They're going to call a handball or offsides. It was offsides. They're calling on Reyes.
We came back and forth, which could have been the case. I didn't see it because
Not
it looked
much.
like there were two Wheaton players back, but, very well could have been.
8 minutes left. Gosh, this clock is going slow.
Yeah, if you're a Carthage fan or a Carthage player right now, this clock couldn't be going any slower. If you're a Wheaton fan, you want to see. I think we have another foul at about the 25, giving Wheaton another opportunity. Wheaton player on that one, I think, tried to make the play to get around. Clearly couldn't get around the full leg tackle by the Carthage defender.
I'd like to see Pignataro just kind of calm these guys down. We've had a couple of bad fouls.
What I wouldn't mind seeing, though, is Carthage playing a little tighter on their net to be coming forward to head this ball. And that ball
puts
is
it in
played.
dangerous, and it's cleared out.
Oh, we got to push in the back. You got to
That's
sell that one. Okay, the ref called it anyway. We didn't do a good job of selling that. That's a play where we definitely want to get our offense back up the pitch. All right, Mata's going to take the kick. Hopefully he does not do anything and stub it up here and gets that ball deep, and he does.
And you know what?
Ooh,
Wheaton is just letting Carthage get that 50-50 ball.
Yeah, what they're doing, Mike, is they're trying to win that second ball. So they're tactically seeing that Carthage isn't going to win it with a trap, and they're going to try to flick on with a foot, a head, a thigh. So they're trying to position themselves to win the ball when it's an easier settle.
That's a good point.
All right, so we're at about the 6:30 mark of this game. It is a back-and-forth match here in the second half. Both teams with chance after chance. Pignataro with a big play to redirect a driven ball into the box. He gets his head on it, saving his defense from having to make a real tough play. Ball played out wide here for Wheaton. They're starting to get a lot of aggression. And a shot on Mata looked like it was deflected, and it sort of knuckled on Mata, but he's got that wide body, stayed real wide, and smothered that ball.
Hey, that's what Wheaton wants to do. They want to get the ball on net. It's wet out. It's late in the game, and time's ticking down. You want to put shots on goal.
All right, so Mata with his sort of first bad ball of the game, but Carthage actually wins it. But you can see here Wheaton's got the bulk of the possession. I wouldn't say they necessarily look hungrier, but they're playing more offensive, and you can –
We've got an opportunity here for Dombrowski. If he can tuck it under.
Got a one-on-one, but nowhere to go. Wheaton settles back on D. There was an opportunity. The ball played a little bit behind Dombrowski. He's able to do
good, clear.
Something really crafty with the ball. But now Carthage brings it to the corner, trying to work into a corner kick.
You can't lose it there, Tim.
Wow, that ball driven wide across the field. But again, the ball is being tough to trap because of the weather, and I think some of the conditions on the actual playing surface. Carthage able to win that ball, but gives it right back up.
Well, we got 5 minutes left here in this game.
Right now, if you're Carthage, you want to keep that ball outside of your 30.
That's a handball. Reyes called for it, and he got it.
If the linesman should probably see that one, though, Mike, because he's seen everything else going the other way. I don't want to sound like a homer up here, but this linesman has not had the best day. I think the ref's done a very good job and called a very fair game. The linesman here is really inserted himself into this match. That could be a word of card given what we've seen in this half. Looks like he goes to the pocket but settles it back in. Probably was a second card on a Wheaton player, and they didn't want to do that.
Well, Tim, that's a good point. Wheaton wants to be ultra careful to foul because at this point, every time a foul happens, you're getting 10 to 15 seconds are going to click off the clock.
Yeah, minimum, Mike. And even if you play this ball out of bounds and they don't get the ball on a goal kick, not the worst thing that happens. Takes a while to get that ball back upfield. So every one of those minutes.
Nice save by Reyes in the corner. He puts it right back to the middle. Is that Riley?
That's
And
Riley.
that's going to be a Carthage ball.
Mike, that's a great play by, is that Reyes out there? Reyes has had a really good, solid game as well. He's got to worry about getting his second yellow, but that play he made saved a throw-in for Wheaton and worked its way into a Carthage throw-in, Carthage corner kick.
And this is what we were talking about, Tim. Here's another dead ball. 30 seconds have gone off the clock with really one play.
Yeah, so that ball getting played upfield has cost Wheaton 30 seconds. Now the clock stops on every out-of-bounds play here. And Carthage with the corner sent really wide and long. Not sure I understand the strategy behind that one. And then Carthage able to let Wheaton leak out, coming hard up the field. And Carthage is going to have him put the brakes on here. A one-on-one on the outside,
and
a
good
shot off
by Mata.
Great save by Mata. Number 9 sort of pushed, Atlee Einerson sort of pushes the Wheaton offensive player outside, so he couldn't get as good a shot off, but he did have the shoulder forward on him.
Carthage had enough men back. It was a 4-on-4. Wheaton got it to their guy. They got it to number 12, Stephen Goals, and he put it on net, just was right at Mata, and it wasn't enough pace.
Yeah, Mata has been fit to the task in terms of sucking that ball in and not giving up any rebounds, because Wheaton is certainly up there. If they can get that ball back downfield, see that play needs to come back into the corner, because that, again, would have taken multiple seconds off the clock. Let that ball run.
Let it go.
That ball should not stop here on a throw-in, because the ball's coming in and out very quickly. But about 2:40 left in the game. Carthage playing a little bit of a shell D right now. They're playing a real deep sweeper right now, not wanting to get anything over the head, played over the head. Looks like the ball was won, but it was a dangerous tackle on Dombrowski. Close to being another card for Carthage, but ref just awarding a dead ball from about the 45-yard line.
Well, with the advent of the European Soccer League on NBC, just for you folks at home that watch.
Oh, my God, the ball leaked through everybody. The ball leaked through everybody, and the Wheaton player hits the Carthage goalie. I don't think intentionally. That ball just sort of stayed in the 6 to 8 yard area for, a good 3 seconds, just sitting there for someone to grab.
Absolutely. This could be disastrous. Carthage's goalie, Mata, is down, and they're calling for the trainers.
And Mata's had one hell of a game here.
The clock has stopped, and back to what I was saying right before that play, once the 2 minutes and 7 seconds is done, that's the end of the game. There's no stoppage time in college soccer.
That's correct, Mike. They're stopping the clock on these plays. It's not like an English Premier or a World Cup where the ref's got the ultimate subjectivity of how many minutes he's going to add to the end of a contest.
Absolutely. I mean, this is obviously we're all here to win, but sportsmanship is the key, and everybody's got to go to work or go back to their classes tomorrow.
Right, Mike, that's great. And in a fixture like this, what you really want to see is two teams battle it out, and the team that wins ultimately deserves it, right? And I think what we're seeing here is if either team won this game, I think both of them have earned it. And it's not a situation where a team was thoroughly outplayed and on the wrong side of the score here.
Well, this is interesting. This is a long break with 2 minutes left. I think both teams need the break. They're tired. They are dog tired.
Right now, Pignataro looks like he's got cement shoes on, and not to say that discouraging to him, but he's played and logged heavy minutes. He's been all over the middle of the field. He's had to make all those tough plays that sort of take a wear on your body when guys are running into you, and you're having to make diving plays to win balls, win head balls. So Pignataro, needs to just, fight it out for the last 2:06 of this contest.
All right, here we go, Tim. 2:03. The clock is back and running, and we're in our final 2 minutes of play.
Yes, Mike. We're under 2 minutes right now. Wheaton plays the ball back upfield. Carthage wants to keep that ball out of its own end, and right now they're just doing anything to keep the ball out of their own 18-yard box. Really make Wheaton work.
Oh, this is a dangerous throw-in, a quick throw-in by Wheaton with Hollingsworth. That was. The ref's not full for that, and that is a shot on just.
That is simulation and a half. Those are the plays where the ref almost looked like he was going to call it and then pulled back because he didn't get touched, and he did a flip like a gymnast would do.
Yeah,
That's
Hollingsworth, he realized he didn't have an opportunity. He went down. He didn't get the call, but it's a smart play and a good call by the ref. Good no call by the ref.
Or could it have been a call on Hollingsworth for simulating that much?
Well, this late in the
thrust?
game, I don't see it, Tim.
Well, it's understandable, Mike. However, the game should or shouldn't be decided by some guy's actions, right? It's either a foul or it's not, or it's simulation or it's not. It's not, it shouldn't be all that subjective, and that looked pretty obvious.
Well, with a minute clicking down now, there is
sort of back
59
around
seconds. The fans are on their feet, and I think Carthage can feel the energy here. Wheaton's got a couple surges in him.
Wow. Get to the end of that rim kiss.
And Dombrowski with a key header in the middle of the field.
Right now, that ball should only be played forward.
Wheaton's got 41 seconds, and it's a nice – Dombrowski has come up strong in this last minute or two, Tim.
Nice.
Wheaton puts it
ball
in.
Played across. Played out. Ball should be played out. Very well done.
That's a clear by Carthage. There's 27 seconds left.
And a misplay by number
defender,
4, Reed Bartley.
Bartley has got to get it in if they have a chance. They've got 20 seconds left.
Get that ball
and
back
Carthage
upfield.
with another nice stop.
No, Dombrowski should be
careful.
back. That maybe an errant play, an errant chance.
13 seconds left, Tim.
Clear that ball. Clear that ball.
6 seconds left. 5, 4, 3,
Just foul.
2, 1. That is 0.1, Tim. There is 0.1 seconds left, and there's a little bit of pushing.
Wow, we have a scrap here. Two guys went hard at the ball, and they're going to call a foul with 0.1 seconds left, which is no time because it's not the shot goes up. It's got to be in the back of the net in 0.1. And the last time I don't see Hristo Stoichkov in this game.
So should the ref even be playing this set piece?
I don't know. It looked like Dombrowski grabbed him, but the Wheaton player really sort of took himself and threw himself to the ground in a lot of haste to try to sell more than what maybe occurred. But we'll probably look back on the tape and see what really occurred.
So Dombrowski's going to get a yellow card, and I think the Carthage players are asking about the 0.1 on the clock, and I think that's a fair statement.
There isn't enough time for this 0.1 to matter. You can't do anything. Once the ball is touched, 0.1 is off the clock.
I think Wheaton's trying to lobby for some extra seconds here. And this, without an instant replay.
Mike, what I have to go back to is Dombrowski really doesn't need to do that. Wheaton players back to the goal. Time is ticking off. Your best play as a team is just to stay in front of him and not necessarily get yourself into a situation where you've got to foul a guy. It was unnecessary whether he did or did not foul him. It was unnecessary to make any sort of contact. All you have to do is stand in front. The ball cannot go through you.
That's a good point. It looks like for you folks at home that can't see it on the screen, the head ref is conferring with the side linesman here. There's still 0.1 on the clock. They haven't changed it, and I don't know if they're going to.
Mike, I don't think they can. This is an NCAA game. That is the contest. Carthage has walked out of here defeating number 5.
I got to tell you, the ref did not realize that 0.1 ticked off. This is going to be interesting the way they bring this back.
It's 0.1. It doesn't matter, Mike.
That is not good game management by this referee.
The referee should be the one signaling to the press box when to start that clock, and I don't see him do it yet. The guy was in position. I'm trying to figure out here what the ref's doing. He's lost control of the game here in the later stages. Maybe the linesman who's trying to inject himself could be the guy that makes all the calls.
I think the ref needs to confer with both coaches. The Carthage players needs to get away from this before they get an unneeded yellow.
At this point, I would line my whole team up guarding the goal and not.
Oh, this is interesting. They're gonna have to take a look at this.
I'm not sure what's going on, fans. We cannot hear what's going down on the field.
I think both Coach Giuliano and Domin, they're going to want some explanation of what's going on.
What I'd like to see here is a live mic, a wired mic on the referee, because we're sort of in the dark up here in the press box. The referee has picked up the ball that was on the 20-yard line with 0.1 on the clock, and he has run over to talk to both coaches.
Oh, they're both heated. This shows you how important this is to both teams.
Both coaches are very upset. One wants time put on the clock. One says there should be no time at all on the clock. A couple of the kids are arguing they got fouled. Some are arguing they didn't foul. The ref's really got to take control. He shouldn't be over there talking to anybody. It's on him. The clock is at 0.1. what's left to do here, Mike?
It looks like a couple of the players are talking about it as well. I see Pignataro kind of going over it with goals.
Mike, if you see here, it'd be amazing if Matt Paprocki, who's made some incredible saves, he's up here on the attacking 18. The goalie's upfield trying to maybe get ahead on this because there's nothing to lose at this point.
No, absolutely. They're in jeopardy of a
If
loss
you
here.
look at Coach Domin, he's really animated over there. He's keeping his cool, but he's basically telling the ref as soon as that ball's touched, the game is over. It doesn't matter what happens after that.
Okay, the referee's pointing at the clock. There's .1 on the clock. I think they're going to allow Wheaton to take this free kick.
Yeah, from about the 20-yard line. It looked like the ball should have been up on the 18. He's going to put it back on the 22. But that's neither here nor there, Mike. Wow, this has been some game up here in Kenosha here on the beautiful coastline of Lake Michigan. You can't get a better game than this.
Well, this is it, Tim. And that's a nice
And
attempt, but
a
it's too
shot
high. It was
is
not
gone.
even close, and Carthage is going to win it. That's a 2-1 win over the number 5 in the country, Wheaton College.
Yes, I mean it was a classic victory. Carthage goes up 2-0, maybe gives up a sort of an unfortunate goal, if you will, sort of not making a play in the back that they could have made, which led to the goal, which led to a great set piece by Wheaton. But nonetheless, Carthage comes out. They show their class, they show their fitness, and they come out on top with a 2-1 win on their home pitch.
Yeah, if you go over the shot totals, it's a tail of the tape. Carthage with 14 shots, while Wheaton had 13. And it was a battle throughout, and it was a fun game. And I think the difference really was some of the 50-50 play, that Carthage just came up better on some of those loose balls.
Yeah, and you know what, in the long history of these games, and Wheaton's had the better of most of the matches, they've also had the better of a lot of the calls go their way. So right now we see the Wheaton coach here, sort of arguing with the referee over what happened. This isn't an English Premier. This isn't a World Cup game. This is not going to be time added to the clock.
Actually, you look over to your left hand of the screen, you've got both coaches, Wheaton and Coach Domin. They're still talking about it, and I think they're going to debate this probably for the next day or two. This might even go to the CCIW level.
You know what? I'd love to have had our good friend Lou DeFalco, who couldn't be here today, down on the field. He does a really good job collecting those interviews right after the game, really trying to talk and get the energy from the players and to see what it is they're talking about. And coming into the booth right now, guys, is Dr. Bond after a big victory. And he should be really proud of the team. They played a very impressive game. Both teams battled really hard. Both goalies came up with some key saves, Mike.
You're right. It looks like both teams are going to circle up. Is this traditional for teams to do this? I don't think it is. But I think Dr. Bond said it best before the game. We asked him what he thought, and he said, he goes, we can't let up the big play. And we didn't do that. We actually we provided the big plays.
And that's rarely happened in this series. The guy's smarter than you think. You think of him as a basketball, football guy, and an avid golfer, if you will. But he did come in here and he had some thoughts on the soccer game, so I'm proud to see that. It's taken maybe 15 years to get him on the side of the soccer program, but I think he's here and he's here to stay. No, we can go all night, Dr. Bond. Hey, and for those listening, whether you're a Wheaton or a Carthage alum, Carthage fan, hey, send those checks and donations. You saw how good this team's doing. We can build a bigger and better facility. And that's what we're looking to do, to keep this level of competition, to keep this level of play on our side. So thank you, Dr. Bond.
Well, great game by everybody. Looks like the Carthage team will come over and then clap on the fans. And Wheaton's still standing in the middle. They're still kind of discussing it internally, but they played well. Both teams played really well. It got to be a little aggressive there, but I think you kind of expected it.
That goal by Austin Bitta, we got to go back to that. That was world class, Mike. That was settle the ball one time, keep the defender on your left shoulder, and play a lofted ball with pace over the goalie's head into the corner of the net. There's a lot to be said for the kid's a sophomore. He came out, he had a tremendous game. He was playing, I believe, on a yellow card. I may or may not be mistaken on that, but he never stopped fighting. And he was rewarded with a goal, and, Carthage gets rewarded with a win. So,
well, what I noticed with Carthage is they got it from a bunch of different players. It wasn't just one person. Reyes played well.
And here's a highlight
Dombrowski played great. But guys like Bitta, Townsend, Rimkus, everybody Carthage's keeper, Mata. I mean, it just was a
Don't
team
forget about
effort.
Vogel, the minutes he played on that left side before he sort of went down with what looked like a leg injury. The defense was just really stout, I thought. Philip Dominski made some great tackles in situations where he could have easily given up a foul or gotten beat.
Absolutely, Tim. I just
Here comes
looking
the
at
second goal right now, Mike, and you can see that ball just lofted over the goalie.
Perfect.
Paprocki had no chance to make a play left, right, up, or down, and Bitta just runs behind the net. Now we're going to look at Wheaton's goal, which was, again, a tremendous play and really a tremendous shot on a one-timer that the Wheaton players maybe been in an offside position, let go, and it went right into the corner. So
yeah, absolutely, Tim. They just put the finals up. It looks like the shot total was dead even, 14-14, and interestingly enough, 10-10 on goal.
Mike, I mean, if we were charting the minutes of possession, I would say Wheaton had the better of it maybe in the latter stages of the first half and the latter stage of the second half. I think in both of the bulk of the game, Carthage had the better of the possession, but seemingly the team that had the wind failed to possess the ball as well as the team that was going against it,
Absolutely.
which is pretty interesting. Well,
okay, everybody. Well, we got the finals are in. It's Carthage College 2, Wheaton College 1, CCIW, and we're live from Art Keller Field. I want to thank Tim Burke for some great commentary, and we got to thank our producers. Tim, why don't you go down the list?
yeah, Michael Murphy and Michael Love did a tremendous job producing this. Our associate producer, John Vojnovich, and then our director, Taylor Sanders. What a world-class team. Did a great job queuing us up, getting us hot-wired for this game, and we were terribly excited. Replays were done by Vojnovich again, same with the graphics. And then on the cameras were Cassandra Pacheco, class of 16, Mike, Janina Spencer, class of 18, and Desireen Thompson, class of 18. And they did a great job keeping us up to speed here. And I can't say enough. This was a great game. Glad we could come up. Glad we could announce. And looking forward to the next time we can come up. So live from Carthage and Art Keller Field here on the beautiful campus of Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This is Mike Domin and Tim Burke signing off.